Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into round number 7 of the 2024 RaceFactory Gaming National Championship live here on Star Your Systems TV. I'm Kellen Brower, joined by Andrew Wood, and we are here for the Spring Creek National in Millville, Minnesota for the 7th round of this series. We're past the halfway point, and we come to yet another great track on the schedule. Always a fun one to see what happens at Millville, and this is going to be an exciting round, Andrew.
Yeah, I love watching racing at Millville. It's one of my favorite tracks on the circuit to watch. A lot of big downhills, fast sections, sand. It's a good time, and I think we're going to get some really good racing like we've seen pretty much every week so far this series.
Yeah, Redbud last week was certainly a lot of fun up and down. We saw some, I think, split moto wins in both classes, so that was kind of cool to see a little bit of a mix-up in both. And yeah, Trevor Burns now has another overall winner, an actual overall win because he won a moto at Southwick, but does have an overall win in his stash in the 450 class. Payson Johnson has a big championship lead, but seems like other people are kind of showing up a little bit every week and giving a little bit of run for his money.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy with how big his championship lead is, but we've seen it feels like so many races where people have been beating him, and it just doesn't seem like the dominance and his points lead kind of match where he's at. But I mean, it's fun that we get to see people. Right now we see him qualified, or we'll get into that in a second, but not your fastest qualifier today. So maybe we'll get someone shaking it up more, even more today.
Yeah, let's talk about those qualifying times, and we'll get a look at them here on your screen. Trevor Burns fastest this week at a 2:02.085. Seth Shirley, Bodie Parker, and then Payson Johnson. Obviously, big championship lead. Not a whole lot necessarily to fight for in terms of just going out and dominating the class anymore, but it is a bit surprising not to see Payson up at the front.
Yeah, it's really something we're used to seeing him qualifying, a second or two faster than the field, but we got Trevor Burns second and a half faster right now than the second fastest rider, Seth Shirley, who's been kind of trying to figure out the 450 a little bit. Bodie Parker right there coming in just ahead of him, but pretty decent gap at the front of the 450 field, and then it seems like it's kind of starting to get a little bit tighter as we work our way down that list. So going to be fun to see. Maybe we get some different winners, and maybe Payson can't just dominate these guys this week.
Yeah, let's take a look at the times throughout the field as well. 206 is a lot of them, and then into the 207s all the way down to P40 at a 209 there. So 208.4 looks like it just snuck you in by, wow, man, 2/100ths of a second. Tyler Blowers gets over Jeremy Schiabro. We got a lot of people heading to the Consi this week down to 51, so probably about 14, 15 people in the Consi. Let's look at our 250 class, though. And Seth Carr, our championship leader, look, he needs to respond. Obviously, Leitzel gets the win last week. Matherly's been kind of chipping away at these points and has kept it close. Carr is trying to get back on top and does so here in qualifying, at least with a 2:04.4.
Yeah, I mean, Seth Carr just coming out, and he's been known for his speed, right? And showing a second and a half faster than the rest of the guys is something these guys are going to maybe have to worry about today. He's been pretty, what seems like, dominant compared to these guys. He's kind of come into his own. At first, it started out maybe a 3-4 rider battle, but Seth Carr is a problem, and Cade and Logan need to kind of cement themselves, get 2 moto finishes where they're beating these guys, and or beating Seth, and see if they can make something happen, because he's going to extend this points lead by a pretty big gap. We're getting later into the series right now, so we got to watch out for him.
Yeah, so Seth Carr definitely is turning things around, at least so far here tonight, but we've seen Carr, Matherly, Leitzel all getting a little bit better, a little bit faster each week, and Leitzel picking up the win at Redbud. So excited to see how things go with that. Let's take a look at our standings here, and we'll kind of talk you through what's going on, because it's a massive championship lead for Payson Johnson. He's way, way out in front at a 269 points to 214, 55-point advantage in T-Lane. This isn't really where the story is anymore. We know Johnson's probably on his way to winning his second outdoor title. 250 class, a whole different ball game. 5 points up, Seth Carr over Cade Matherly, 19 back to Leitzel, who won last week at Redbud. This is going to be a fun championship fight in this 250 class to watch all the way to the end.
Yeah, I mean, Cade only 5 points back is something that we need to kind of watch out for here. He really needs to make something happen. Logan is slowly falling away. I know he was at 21 points last week, so he did gain a couple points, but I think it might be, it's too little too late. I feel like these top three are kind of the class of the field. So Logan's need to start winning, going 1-1 at some rounds if he wants to get back into it. But Cade really just needs to kind of figure out a way to beat Seth Carr, go 1-2, and Carr needs to go maybe 2-3 or something like that. It's going to be hard to dominate and go 1-1 the rest of the way, but Cade needs to figure something out here. We've only got 4 rounds left, and we really need to keep an eye on him. This battle is close, but Carr is in the driving seat right now.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into the action here at Spring Creek. Here's an overhead view of the track, and let's jump in the server and see how things are rolling. Looks like we are getting ready to go in our 250 class, Consolation Racing here shortly, or maybe it's just 450s tonight, because that number 4 machine could be Jeremy Smith. But let's jump in and see what's going on here. Man, Millville, it's a beautiful circuit, beautiful racetrack, tucked in the hills here in Minnesota. And what do you think of the changes they've made over the years? Because this year we get to see the back-to-back uphill triples going up Mount Martin. They changed that section after coming down Mount Martin, so it's just a couple switchbacks now. It's like we only have a 450 consi tonight. Do you like some of those changes, Andrew, or do you wish that we were maybe back on some of the old versions of Millville here?
I do like the changes that we've had right now. I think it's in a pretty good spot. There's a couple things I miss. I do like going all the way up the hill, and then the way that they have it right now is kind of pretty good. I think we're good on our sensitivity now, so hopefully I'm not blowing out your eardrums working on some stuff right now, guys. But I do like the way it's at. I like going all the way up the hill, huge downhill. I like going back in the back section, going pretty straight through the sand rollers, so there's not too many zigzags back there. But I like where this track is at right now, and I don't think they need to make too many changes. Whoa, this section is totally different, though.
That's what I was saying. There's some changes here, man.
I don't know about this. We'll have to see how it works out, but well, that jump kind of looked pretty fun right there, but we'll have to see that roller into that step up right there.
Yeah, you can see where the old track went right there, as Fisher kind of shows off that little berm that it used to U-turn down into right there, and then now there's like a wall jump into a little hip thing. It's certainly a big change here at Spring Creek, and we're about to see how it looks here on this track as 450 Consolation Race gets set to go off. JT George, Connor Holiak, Carl Novak, Logan Mortberg, Austin Bear, Caden Pankow, Zach Fisher, Eduardo Simos, Jeremy Smith. Looks like that's going to be the 10 guys going in this Consolation Race. Yeah, apologies for the mic issues there for a second, guys. That was on me. We tried to make a late change here before this, and it just didn't quite work out the way we had expected it to. So hopefully we're back to good now. And if there's any other issues, please be sure to let us know in the chat. We want to make sure that that's fixed as soon as possible and not have you guys getting your ears completely blown out. But I think we're good. So
yeah, it seems like everyone's happy now, but the comments are pretty funny.
They were flowing in. We were getting just absolutely railed in the ears and all kinds of different things. By the way, a couple quick shout outs before we get into this Consolation Races. I think we're loading in right now. Thanks to Nut134 and Air Athletics as well for the resubs. 2 months for both of them. Thank you guys so much for joining in the members lounge. Hopefully you're having a good time here watching the racing as always. And everybody that's subscribed over on the YouTube side, thank you guys so much. All right, looks like we are off and running. The Consolation Race just got underway as we loaded back in. And whoops, cameras. There we go. Austin Bear in and out of the first corner is going to come away with the race lead. These are guys going for 4 positions into the motos, 4 laps to make it through. And Bear's going to get passed up by Holiak, and then Bear goes down. Holiak almost goes off the track. Everyone jockeying for these early positions, but it's Holiak who's going to lead us into the whoops.
Yeah, Holiak was second coming into that first turn right there, but made a quick move as they went up over that hill into the mechanics area. Look at this drag race, though. First time we're seeing these sand rollers this year. And a couple different things. Guys using 2 different lines here. Holyak is going to get passed up the inside. That's going to be Jason Stubbs who takes the lead from him and try to take control of this race early. Look at that nice double around the corner. That is going to be awesome, and I'm sure we're going to see a bunch of crashes there tonight. But really awesome start by Jason Stubbs.
Woo!
Whoa! Keep it together. He goes down. Holyak back to the lead.
Over the catapult, Holyak goes in front of Chase Blakely, Jeremy Smith, and Pablo Vial, who won a national earlier this year at Hangtown, is in 4th. So Vial just making it into the Consi. We got a couple last-minute guys here as 13 people ended up starting this race, and going down on his back was Mason Call. He's going to get hit by JT George by the look of it. So interesting to see some of these heavy hitters like Jeremy Smith, Pablo Vial end up in this one. Here is Smith going up the uphill, just affectionately known as Jay tonight. I don't know what's up with that, but here he is, the number 4 machine, jumping down out of the hill in P2, right behind Connor Holyak as we charge down Mount Martin here on the first lap.
Yeah, apparently JS4 wasn't a short enough name. He had to shorten it even more. That is our guy right there, though. But, man, Connor Holyak taking back control over this race and trying to just give himself a nice, easy lead so he doesn't have to mess around with any of those guys and all the crazy action going around behind him. Connor Holyak, though, going through this section for the first time here. Always fun, flowy jumps right here. Couple big, like, step-up doubles there to get some whips going on and see if you can scrub past some guys. First time seeing this downhill right before the finish line here. Gonna a little bit tricky, nice and rough. Couple different options there in that right-hander, and coming across. Connor Holyak is going to lead us through the first lap here in this 450 Consi.
Yep, jumping up into this little plateau area and down. Blakely moves around Smith into 2nd, Smith back to 3rd, and Vial still holds on to 4th. I mean, that's a pretty solid top 4 right there. A lot of guys that have won races over the years mixing it up. Austin Bear's trying to run them down, though, in P5. He's bringing Jason Stubbs with him. We also have JT George, Carl Novak, Eduardo Simos, and Caden Pankow inside of the top 10. I see your messages, by the way, Jack Fowler in chat. If you sent it to me like 10 minutes before the broadcast, no, I wasn't even in Discord, so I apologize that I do not have your last-minute skins. I downloaded everything that I saw through Discord and the forums up until about 4:30 Pacific today, so about an hour before the race. But if I don't have your stuff, it's because you guys sent it in a little bit too late. I apologize.
Guys, it's round 7. What are we doing here? what
it's
are we doing?
not Redbud. It's not a special edition race.
Yeah, special edition Redbud. You want to run something cool a couple days before, but sometimes we're getting skins 30 minutes. Oh my gosh, Pablo Vial absolutely giving a show to these fans out here today. Look at this, trying to make a move around the outside on Chase B right there. Not going to be able to make it happen, but he is putting pressure. He doesn't need to, though. Looks like he's going to be able to get the pass down up the inside. Can he get the power down? He does. This
crosses over in front of him, and Chase B can't get the triple, so here comes Austin Bear. He's going to go 3-3-2 up the hill. Chase B actually charged back up behind Vial, and we got a little fight for the transfer spot. Chase B goes down, and he gets hit by Stubbs going by, so Blakely back to 6th now. Oh, wait, Holyak was down, so Stubbs is moving into 4th? Yeah, 4th. Holyak's back to 5th, and Stubbs is now on the transfer spot as Blakely right behind there is in P6.
Yeah, Chase B 2 out with Holyak there after leading. He's probably going to be putting some pressure back on Stubbs here. Look at this, Holyak making a move up the inside of Chase B. Those two riders were side by side. Chase B sending it off that single here as they come. Who's going to get the power to the ground and scrub this? Look at these guys just flowing. Love this camera angle and that section. Wish I was riding, but then I tried to ride a couple laps on the last couple national tracks. Could not get around the lap, so I actually kind of don't. But I do love watching fun jumps. That's the best part about playing sim. Oh, Pablo Vial was down in that corner right there. So those two riders are all going to move up. That's going to put Holyak on the bubble in 4th and Chase B 1 spot out. Pablo Vial, though, going to be needing to make some moves. Probably didn't get any qualifying times in if he's in this Consi race.
Yeah, must be. And look at how close this is. Jeremy Smith leads now. Austin Bear 2nd. Stubbs up to 3rd. And Holyak is right on the door here in P4. Blakely trying to catch up with Vial still 6th as these guys cross over. Stubbs to the outside, inside for Bear. Stubbs just goes off the track. He's going to come flying back on, still in the battle as Holyak's trying to pass at least one of them down the inside here. Can he get Stubbs on the far inside? No, he's going to slide out. That allows Blakely through into 4th. And now Holiak has to get back on his horse as Vial slides through the corner. Everyone's making mistakes. This time it's Blakely who's able to fight through, and he's back into the final transfer position.
Yeah, I'm wondering if these guys are, sometimes you play so much in practice qualifying with a lot of riders on the track that these guys are seeing the track a little bit more broken down, so they're trying to push limits. Whoa, Holiak got a swap back there, went down hard off the single before the catapult. He's going to go down. Vial, I think I passed him. Yeah. Holiak down, and he is most likely going to be out of this race, losing 3 spots there after falling. He's got his work cut out for him, but I think he's going to be out. It's really going to be watching Pablo Vial here, who is 2 seconds down. I do want to see this. Okay, triple up.
Triple again.
Triple again. Double. Send it. That's going to be tricky for the 250 riders if you've got a race winner struggling that much. Vial jump into the inside there. Very fast at the top of the hill. And looking at how steep and how gnarly this downhill is, it's only going to get worse during the motos here today.
And it's honestly, it's deceptive even from this camera how steep that downhill is. If you saw a side view of that and see that these guys still make the corner at the bottom of the hill, it's quite impressive because they got to be on the brakes maybe halfway down and still sometimes will blow those ruts at the bottom. So Vial really trying to push into these corners now and close this gap down to Blakely up ahead. It's still pretty tight at the front. Jeremy Smith has not gotten away. It's a half second between the lead and second place as Blakely goes down at the top of the hill and Vial runs into him, but he's going to get by. So Blakely, now he has the work to do. He's going to pick it up behind everybody and try to catch up from P5. Vial back into a transfer spot. We got 1 lap to go. Can he hold on this time?
Yeah, now Chase B's the one with all the pressure on him, and when you come across, you see that white flag waving. It's not a good feeling knowing that you just went down and you've got about 4 or 5 seconds to make back up, especially when it's a guy that's already won a race this season. So going to be a lot. Chase B kind of hoping for a miracle here. Vial, though, looking good. He's had a couple mistakes on his own, but looks like he's kind of figuring it out, the flow. He definitely has a very loose setup here, so he always looks comfortable, but that loose setup can turn into swapping and crashing real fast. So got to keep an eye on him, and we're pretty much probably going to watch this for most of the way as the riders out front just slowly pulling away, and Chase B, you see him in the back of that shot. Stubbs right here, though, moving up.
Oh, Jeremy Smith.
Huge mistake by Jeremy Smith. Stubbs is going to get by him for that position, and Stubbs moves up into only second, right?
No, that's the race lead right there. Stubbs takes over the lead as we switch up to the front. JS4 a little bobble, slides it down, and into the lead goes Stubbs. But again, these guys are just trying to transfer into the motos. So first, second, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's really the difference between 37th and 38th. Gate pick as Stubbs goes for the quad and goes down. What? Interesting tactic as Smith takes over the lead again. Stubbs is going to lose at least the lead. Does Bear go by? He does. Almost goes over the bars, does Bear, and here comes Vial. I mean, he's got plenty of time back to Blakely. Well, not really. It's about 4 seconds now, but interesting strat going for the quad in the lead on the final lap of a Consi.
I mean, maybe he wanted the camera time of doing something cool, but that's if you got a spotter and you've only got, 10 to 14 seconds right there, it's a little bit risky doing that on the last lap when you're guaranteed a transfer spot pretty much, but Stubbs still holding on right now. Just a little bit of a questionable move right there. Look at this shot, though. Stubbs in third, Vial in fourth, and Chase B still chasing in fifth. These guys fighting to the death. We've only got 2 turns to go. Stubbs goes long, stays on the bike, though. What's going to happen here in this last corner?
Smith takes the win out front. Bear's going to try to get second as Stubbs almost goes over the bars through the rut twice, ends up getting third, and Vial survives to make it into the motos by a nose. Chase Blakely, a former race winner in this series, is going home early tonight at Spring Creek, the career number 21 on the sidelines. Always weird to see a low 2-digit and a career number at that not going into the motos, but he is out. Carl Novak, JT George, Zach Fisher, and penalties confirm it. In fact, Bear had a few bit of penalties there. He dropped back behind Jason Stubbs from second back to third, ends up about a 10th behind him, and then Vial almost got by him as well. A little bit of penalties there for Blakely cost him some time. He goes from 1 second back to 1.4, but that is confirmed. Vial, Bear, Stubbs, and Jeremy Smith going through to the motos. Hey, SYS, we won something. We got a Consi win out here. Jeremy Smith carrying the flag.
I think this is SYS's first win of the year, so shout out to us. Best team ever, some would say. Mostly me, but I need someone to tell Chase B. Probably would have qualified if he stuck with the Jason Anderson replicas. I don't know, bro.
Honestly, I like it, though. No, I like that he switched it up because while the Anderson replicas are cool, He's got to be his own stigma, dude. He's BPC. Like, he's had the BPC thing forever. It's probably one of the longest lasting teams in the game anymore.
It is, but he's been running since he was 21. He's been running those pretty much replicas and looking great. And I don't know, man. I do like he's on a Honda, right? Not a Beta, or not a gas. Chase B was.
Well, I don't know. KTM,
I don't know. We love a red bike, all right. Red bikes are the best, but I don't know, Chase B.
Red bike.
Next week though, home race for Chase B. You better show up at Washougal, get your shit together, and get it figured out.
You better show up.
Show up.
Criminal.
Show
All right.
up and show out.
We'll see what happens there. Holiak did go home early. Caden Pankow, Logan Mortberg, and Mason Call did not finish this race. So our consolation races are done. It's time to roll into the motos, and we get to start off with an absolute banger here. 250 moto number 1. We've already talked about it at the start of the broadcast. 19 points between the top 3 in the championship. Perhaps more crucially, though, 5 points between Seth Carr and Cade Matherly at the top 2 positions of the standings. I'll just ask you point blank, who wins this first moto of that 3 group there?
Been hard to bet against Seth Carr, so I think you've got to kind of say that. It's almost like the Payson Johnson thing. You've got to kind of say he's going to win until he doesn't. It's up to Cade. He's been back and forth, and he's kept it close. 5 points is so tight. Like, he could be winning by 5 points leaving this round if Carr has, one bad moto. So the points in outdoors change so drastically, so much, so for it to be that close. But I feel like Carr just, in my head, has been so much more better. So much more better.
Carr has been pretty darn good, but this week at the Grand Prix in Italy, he actually won the first, lost the first moto he had all year in the Grand Prix circuit. He's now just 7 for 8 through 8 motos of the racing so far. So maybe a little blemish right there. Let's quickly run you guys through who's going to the line right now. Brayden Carter, Jack Mark, Carson Bolin, Dylan Delaire, Colin Holden, Max Wilczek, Xander Brion, Race Cobble, Wyatt Grant, Jeremy Siebold, Cole Gress, I believe, Axel Halley, Jack Gatlin, Ben Nerona, Harrison Gafford, Maverick Snyder, Grant Zapay, Emmanuel Cepeda, Evan Holt, Dylan Bollinger, Jack Fowler, Jackson Vick, Ryan Chelsea, Alec Horn, Hunter Ash, Joey Carter, Hayden Stevenson, John Heilman, Seth Carr, Nick Niles, Joey Bradstreet, Tyler Nichols, Austin Partolo, Lucas Brune, Tyler Show, Jax Lindsay, Enzo Butigny, Jeff Giffen, Evan Vanderkoy, and Logan Leitzel. Almost just straight up called him Evmoof. I'm so used to saying it at that point. Yes, Brayden Carter is racing the 250 class tonight. You did hear that correctly. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe he is still at Jacob Hubbard's house. So that might be why he's racing 250s tonight, because I think Hubbard's racing 450s. They're just going to somehow quickly change keys or something to figure that out between the motos. I don't know, but they are there together. So we'll see Brayden Carter on the number 9.
Where's Hubbard live?
Michigan.
Oh.
They went to Redbud together.
Redbud!
But it's the first time we've seen Carter on a 250 since 2019, maybe? So it's been a minute for the 4-time Supercross champ.
I mean, he figured out outdoors at Redbud last week somehow. Just went from being like a 9th to 15th place guy to running up in the top 3 for a while. So we'll see what he can do in this 250 class. If these guys can hang. If he just came out and went 1-1, that would be so sick.
So sick.
So sick.
All right.
Also, shout out Puma in chat.
Yeah, Puma.
OGAF.
Pumaxis.
OGAF. Pumaxis. Is it Puma XCS?
Yeah, it's Puma XCS. But every time I'd see it on the forums, I'd go Pumaxis because it just looks kind of. But
there's some things that I'm like, it's Puma XCS. And then someone would be like, dude, it's this. And I'm like, oh, what? It's been 15 years I've been saying it wrong.
Dude, Puma's been around for a minute, man. We haven't actually hasn't been around of late, but one of the OG MX Simulator players. I'm sure his UIDs are probably sub 200, sub 100.
He's got to be, sub
somewhere around there.
Sub 100 whenever they release that first batch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Shout out Jay Walk in chat.
I know, Jay Walk in chat. Jeff Walker showing up, showing out. Good to see him.
And Brayden. Brayden's hot these days, too. You got lucky. Shout out Brayden Carter.
Good stuff. All right, do we have a Design Lab whole shot pick here for Moto number 1, Andrew Wood?
I do, and I think it's going to come as no surprise because I do think that your boy Seth Carr is going to lead wire to wire here.
All right.
How did he do it? Starts at Southwick.
I I think he got the whole shot one moto. Second moto maybe got the whole shot.
It's pretty much the same thing. This is a power wheelie start if you can get the weight on the back and go. I'm just gonna shout out that boy.
Yeah, I mean you're right. It is a bit of a sandy surface. It's not a sand track per se, but they do put a little bit more roll resistance into this one. So I think that's a good shout. I'm kind of keen to pick somebody else. I want to say that another Panini bike might get out front, but not really sure who. Carter, yeah, Carter's been getting pretty good starts. I mean, Seabolt, another Panini Fantic could get up there and mix it up. Evan Holt's riding a high. He won the Grand Prix earlier this week. He might also get some good starts out there. Let's see. Who do we think is gonna grab?
Seems like you're scared.
A whole shot. I'm a little bit scared because that's a good pick, honestly. Matherly and Leitzel just have not been it when it comes to the starts of late. So
Leitzel have been struggling.
I'm gonna throw a curveball out here and say Joey Carter grabs a Holy on his Dr. Do Beta.
Ooh, Dr. Doolittle. Coming
Doolittle.
out up front, talking to all the animals on his way around the track.
Let's see what happens, though.
There used to be some alligators in this creek.
They're probably still there, honestly.
I don't think so.
No?
I think they found it.
Oh, all right.
The little Easter eggs. And a dolphin in the...
I can go this weekend and do a
Creek.
live report from the creek.
Can you interview the...
The what monster?
Well, yeah, I was going to say just a fish. I know a lot of people fish.
Interview the fish.
I know a lot of people fish in that river. It'd be sick if someone caught one. You just pull up and you... How's it going in there? You like the weather lately? You just stick your mic up in the fish and give it about 10 seconds.
I am
glub, glub, glub.
I am working this weekend under the Pulpamex umbrella. For those of you that don't know, I'm going to Washugo. I'm going to Millville for Pulpamex.
Have you been?
Yeah.
Is it sick?
It is. It's very nice.
I want to go.
Doing the post-race Pulpcast for Pulpamex and going to do some other fun stuff on Saturday. Maybe we'll do like a low-key little bottom line show. I'll go to the creek. We'll ask fans how sunburnt they're getting out here, how many beers deep they are, and what the fish feel like.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, you got to find someone with a fishing pole and see if you can interview a fish.
I want to know
what I want.
Here's what I want to know is that creek. You really can't see the track from the creek because it's lower than the track is. So I want to know if there's people that go to the creek, like they go to the race, but they never see the race. They just stay in the creek all day long. It's going to be like high 80s at Millville. So
I mean, I'd be in the creek.
Yeah,
probably.
right.
Can you see the sand?
No.
Anything?
You can kind of see the helmets going by, but it's pretty low down. Like it's lower than you think it is.
I mean, if you're in a freaking donut floaty thing and you got a cooler full of beer and you're floating and you can just hear dirt bikes, that's good enough for me.
All right, here we go, folks. Let's drop the gate on 250. Moto number 1 here at Spring Creek. 30 car to sideways. Revs are up, and the gate is down. Let's go racing in Millville. Boutigny's actually got a pretty good jump here into turn number 1. There's a lot of bikes, and it's going to be Seth Carr pushing out, pushing everyone wide. He's side by side with the 105 of Wilczek, but Seth Carr looks like he's going to get to the whole shot line first, and he does. Seth Carr rips the Design Lab Co. whole shot. A-Wood absolutely nailed it, and boy, oh boy, this could be trouble for the rest of the field if he can get out front and get away early on the number 15 machine.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a crazy prediction. It was like Jacob Hubbard at the beginning of the season. I do see Logan Leitzel scrolling across in 21st right now, so that's I'm going to ask you as well to let me know where the boy Cade Matherly is.
P14 right now for Matherly.
So these guys... Seth Carr in first, 14th for the guy right behind him in points. Then 19 back is Logan Leitzel in 21st. So these guys are struggling off the start. Coming around first lap to the Chad pole. Does he toss it for us?
Let's go through the field and see the whips. Doolies, Trileys. You got some guys throwing some good ones out there. Yeah, let's just leave it here.
Yeah. Whoever that is.
Leitzel right there, upside down, deep in the field.
The Yami.
Doolies! Big ones. These guys are not afraid out here. Look at this.
Oh, Triley!
Dude, the deeper in the field you go, the more they're getting tossed, and they got way more to lose because they're trying to gain all that time back. I love to see it. Lap 1 here.
That's all you need. You're back so far, it's like, fuck it, just throw the biggest whip I can off the biggest jump.
Seth Carr leading down Mount Martin on lap number 1. Wilczek, Bollinger, Alec Horn, and Enzo Boutigny is your top 5, and it's really kind of just Seth Carr and Wilczek getting away from the field. They're already 6 seconds up on Horn, who's in P3. So, man, Seth Carr on the move at the front of the field. we already said it. This could be disaster for the rest of the field. And for Carr, if he can just stay on 2 wheels here for the next couple of laps, man, this might come easy to him in this moto.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to have no pressure right now. Being up front early, the only person you got right behind you is Wilczek, and you guys are trying to Wilczek out. But these guys, I mean, when you've got an early lead and you feel comfortable on the track, I mean, his qualifying time, it was up there, and he was faster by a second and a half, I'm pretty sure, was the gap. So these guys got a lot to worry about with him out front. I think he's going to just try to lay down some steamers early and see what he can do and see how far up in the field he can lap. It is a long track, but man, when you're as consistent as fast as Seth Carr, he's going to be up inside the top 10, 15 before we know it.
Yeah, it looks like perhaps Matherly may have gone down on the first lap. I'm trying to see where the 2.5 machine is. It looks like Lights on the 3 is P20, and Matherly is for some reason can't see him. He's right in front of him. Kate 14. Matherly in P19. So yeah, back to 19th from 14th. And our title, this is the problem, man, is Leitzel and Matherly have not been able to buy a start all year to save their life. Meanwhile, Carr has been consistently getting good starts. He's had a few bad motos, and that's certainly been the opportunities that have turned around in the favor of Leitzel and Matherly. But if he's going to keep starting up front and those guys cannot figure out how to get off the gate, that might be where the championship's won and lost.
Yeah, I mean, this moto right here could be where the championship is lost for those guys. I mean, if you cannot get on your horse, I know they still got 27 minutes plus 2 laps, so it's not too early or too late, but you can't keep putting yourself in those positions. If Carr is going to be top 3 every time and you're going to be working your way back, you're just never going to beat him. You can't come back from, and we'll see when they come across the screen, but they're 20, 25 seconds back and having to work their way through the field. Meanwhile, he's just putting down fast laps. So it's really not a good position for yourself to be in, and there's really, this championship's going to be out of their reach by the end of today if this happens again second moto. No matter how far they can come up, you can only come up and you're still losing points. You need to be ahead of him, and that's really all it is.
Carr is already 9 seconds up on the rest of the field. His teammate Austin Partelo's moved into P2. Joey Carter, Dr. Do Racing, off to a good start. So he rode a beta last week, but this looks like it's a gas now. So I think the team switched it up on us a little bit just to run some America kits, but he is back on a gas this week. Good start here on the 444 machine, up in third. Wilczek crashed. He's back to fourth, and Alec Horn now rounds out our top 5 positions. Tyler Show back into P6 on the Spencer Turley team. What's up, my dudes, as he lays it over. Manuel Cepeda, 7th on the 56 machine. Chelsea now in 8th. Dylan Bollinger in P9, and Matherly has climbed up into the top 10. Leitzel is 2 spots behind him on the 3 as Matherly is starting to charge. And look, we've seen this week after week with Matherly and Leitzel. It doesn't really seem to matter where they start. They're going to find their way into a podium position, but they've got to make some serious hay while the sun is shining right here, because they've got to get up to the front and hope Seth Carr makes a big mistake.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, it's not in their control anymore is really the big thing there. You can get yourself up, work your way up to second or third. You're still losing minimum 3 points a moto, so you're gonna leave here 11 down. If you're Cade and you get up into second both times, he gets another spot right there, passes his teammate who went down. But it's just, it's too little, too late, and it's hard. It's stressful to do that, and you're really not in the championship battle if you have to do this every single week. So I'm really hoping he's gonna work his way up, try to finish second or third, minimize the points loss, and then really all he needs to focus on is getting a good start next race, because he's got to turn it around and stop the bleeding, or else it's slowly just going to become out of reach as we work our way through. He gets another pass right there. That is, I don't know.
That looks like Cepeda, perhaps, that he just went by in the Takatoji Yamaha. He's bringing Colin Holden with him, and Holden on the 275 machine has been really solid the last few weeks, especially in the Grand Prix scene. Almost won a moto back at the Czech Republic a week and a half ago, so he's been really good of late, and he's going the pace with Matherly. Matherly now starting to reel in Ryan Chelsea on the EVP number 379 Yamaha as they launch down Mount Martin. And just for a timing update, he is in P8, but he's 25 seconds off of race leader Seth Carr. That looks like Joey Carter just picked it up from a crash out of third, so now Matherly's got 7th, 6th, and 5th, and really all the way up to 4th with Tyler Show right in front of him. Alec Horn has slipped back in the front of this group as Carter now finds himself 7th, Matherly 8th, and a side-by-side battle between Chelsea and Horn up the top of the hill. Chelsea's going to force him out, make that pass, and can Carter get him as well? Not quite, but very close racing here.
Yeah, those two teammates right there battling to the death right there. Look at this, gonna go 3 wide. Oh, dude!
Jeez.
Dead.
Oh, Joey
No
Carter
just dead.
absolutely died trying to throw dualies with Alec Horn.
It was
and
sick.
Matherly just barely avoided that. You could see Matherly's like, have at it, boys. I'm going to back out of this and go nose high and not get caught up in any of the drama. And unfortunately, it worked out for him. He's moved up to 7th now behind Horn. Meanwhile, Leitzel is 9th right behind Cepeda, so he is still going with Matherly here as they continue to dice through the field here on the 4th lap, and Matherly's got a run down on the inside, gets by Alec Horn in the sand. He's up to P6.
Yeah, it's so much about who can carry their speed through that corner right before that long section of sand rollers. This one not as important. You can still get lose a drive and not really have a good run through it, but it's all about that little kink corner in that corner, or in the, wow. Words are hard. But it's all about who can carry that speed, and Cade just showed us. He pulled multiple bike lengths behind and then came out way ahead through that sand section. So those rollers, very important when you got the speed that Cade does. He's working his way up and he's doing a great job, but it's going to be, after he gets through all of these riders, where does he end up and how far behind Carr is he, and how many falls do you need to pray for, basically, is what we're looking for, though. Look at him trying to scrub past and make the move, and he does make the pass going up the hill here, and he's going to keep his sights set forward and try to keep making moves.
Yeah, he gets Chelsea right there, but then pushes out wide. Chelsea gets him right back. Can Matherly charge down the inside, down Mount Martin, splitting lines. You can see these guys are trying to hug the very edge of the track. I mean, Chelsea was pretty much up on the bales right there, cuts back to the inside and defends the line very nicely right there. They are starting to close up on Tyler Show a little bit, and I did see a bike flipping in the background. It was not Leitzel. I thought it was, but he is hanging tough with this group, man. He's still there right behind Cepeda, going with Matherly as Matherly closes up on Chelsea. It's a 13-second lead for Seth Carr over Partillo, but all the action's back here in the midfield.
Yeah, I mean, Cade up here in 6th, and then Logan Leitzel back in 8th. They're not too far away from each other. All Logan Leitzel's really paying attention to is probably trying to keep Cade in his sights.
Dualies!
As they come across the finish line here, you just can't lose sight of him. And I like that step up that Cade is doing, jumping from that roller up into that weird little tabletop type section there where they're stepping up, almost like a little dragon's back thing. But these guys are flowing, and Logan Leitzel makes a pass, so now he's right behind Cade. And these guys, they just want to bring this train all the way up to the front here, and they're still chasing. Cade coming up on Tyler Show and Chelsea again.
Yep, Chelsea and Show battling each other now for the 4th position, and Matherly hanging out as Leitzel gets around Emmanuel Cepeda to move up into 7th in the background there. You can see Matherly, man, he's trying a lot of different lines, but every time he tries a different line, he loses a little bit more ground, and now Leitzel's starting to reel him back in. So as Chelsea's trying to find a way around Show, he's making mistakes there. He goes a little outside. Let's see if Matherly can swing this line to get up alongside him on the catapult. He does, and we got dualies on the catapult. But there goes Matherly up into the top 5. He's now 5th behind Show, and we'll see if he can figure out a way around him as they go down to Mount Martin right here.
Yeah, Cade is absolutely ripping through the field right now. Got stuck for a second, but he definitely is faster here. Look at this. Tyler Show makes a mistake, so he's going to triple pass easily. Let's see how much. Show loses another spot, and does he lose? Whoa, it's a different line there. Logan Leitzel still going to be able to get the drive up the outside right there. Woo. He's going to go outside, Show up the inside. Is he going to be able to take it back? They're side by side coming down the hill now. Leitzel has more speed, has the preferred line, I think. It's easier to get down, but then you do have to stuff the brakes harder. So Show is going to go deep into the outside there. Not going to be able to make it. Logan Leitzel, after all that uphill and downhill, is going to secure the pass. And he's going to set his sights on Chelsea and try to keep following Cade up through the pack here. These guys are trying to work their way up slowly. And Logan Leitzel, as long as he's staying close to Cade, that's good news for him, at least for this championship battle that he's in right now.
Yeah, and Chelsea's doing a pretty darn good job of trying to fight Matherly back here as these guys continue to work. We had a question for lap times in chat. It's a 2:08.7 right now for Carr out front. He did a 2:07.3 as his best lap, as there's Leitzel pulling up alongside Chelsea, not quite able to get the move just yet. We got 2:12.2 out of Wilczek, 2:19.9 for Partillo last time by. He went down. He's now right in front of this battle. Leitzel around the outside, trying to get Chelsea into the first turn. Chelsea shuts the door and keeps the position. And it's Matherly went 2:09.9 and a 2:09.6 for Leitzel, as a little mistake there in the background. Was that... who was that? That was Wilczek. Wilczek just went down out of second. So now Partillo is in second at the front of this group. as Maddely goes into the rollers. Here's Partolo now, P2. He's 24 seconds behind Carr out front, but you can see Maddely and Leitzel, we decided to stick with them. 11 minutes into the moto, they're already up into third and fifth and knocking on the door to get into second and third here before long.
Yeah, sadly for Seth Carr, if he watch the stream back and watches himself race, when you dominate by that much, 25 seconds, 12 minutes into the moto, you're not going to get too much screen time because your competitors right now are trying to work their way up through the field, and they're chasing you. They're still going to be losing points even if they get up to second and third, but that's where they're working their way to right now. Logan Leitzel, small mistake there, loses some ground to Chelsea, unable to keep the pressure on, so he's got to really regroup and get something going here. He's been working his way up, but doesn't seem to have the speed through the field that Cade has. Just not consistently the same super fast lap times, which kind of seems to be his thing. Mediocre starts, but his speed is really good, just not as elite as maybe Seth is. And he's not really too flashy. He can run consistent, but just a little bit slower, and it'll work out. I think he'll be up there. But all these guys chasing, so. Look at this, Cade, Chelsea trying to put a pass back on Cade for third.
Yeah, Ryan Chelsea has been really strong in this fight. Matherly got to him and kind of snuck around him a little bit quickly there, but then Chelsea caught fire. He is back charging as they lay it over side by side, little scrub jumps right there, and again crossing over each other, going up to the top of the hill. They're not too far behind Partolo, just over 3 seconds, so they're trying to push each other up into this P2 position. Chelsea, I don't think he's going to let Matherly go. I think he wants to get him back.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking spicy right now. I'm not going to let it happen. Little bit different line there. As you see, it's faster that Cade.
Oh,
Leitzel down hard. Probably trying that step up that we saw Cade just do, and Chelsea did not. Lost some time. Logan Leitzel, though, it is a risky line, so if you make a mistake, you're going to be going down. And look at that. All those spots he just fought to make up, he's losing a bunch of them, and he's going to have to work his way back. We're almost halfway through this moto. He's got time. But really not what you want to do when you've been training up with Cade and that happens.
Yeah, just got back on right behind Colin Holden. He's now P9. Holden up here in 8th, so Leitzel going to go back to work, squares off the corner. Let's see if he gets the drive through the rollers, and he does, just to close the gap there on Colin Holden. So back to 8th for Leitzel. Show now 7th, Cepeda 6th. Lucas Brun has snuck up into the top 5. He's been really solid of late. And then Chelsea 4th, Matherly 3rd, and here is Partolo. Matherly's starting to reel him in a little bit as Partolo is making it a Panini 1-2, but Matherly really wants to get up here, change this position soon if he can. For lap time's sake, Chelsea was the fastest rider on the track last time by at a 2:08.9. It was a 2:09.6 for Matherly, a 2:09.1 for Seth Carr out front, but he's 27 seconds gone. It's really all about this fight for second now and seeing whether or not Matherly and Leitzel can limit the damage.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a pretty good job right now. Logan Leitzel, the one that we see struggling. Cade is putting so much pressure on. Look at the speed down this hill that both of these guys have. Partolo going all the way to the right, back to the middle, trying to get a sweep, goes for that second line. Cade going down the left side, able to sweep in, get that inside line a little bit faster, so he's making some moves and working his way up slowly. Partolo does have some speed, though. He's been running second for a while here now, and he's maybe letting Seth Carr go, but, man, he's doing a pretty good job of holding on Cade Matherly, and I don't think he's going to roll over too quick once he gets him on his rear wheel. Yeah,
this is going to be a good fight for second. You know Partolo is going to want to hold tight for the position. He missed the racing last week. He was out with a penalty that he incurred, I believe, at the Grand Prix in the Czech Republic, and then that carried over through all of last week and didn't get to race. So now he's back racing and putting on a good fight right here with Matherly in a battle for second place. 28.5 second lead for Seth Carr, just past the halfway point. I think he's already going off the catapult the other direction. That's how far gone he is at the front. So now we've seen Matherly work his way forward. He's looked at a couple different options to pass. If you're Matherly here, do you wait for a Partolo mistake, or do you think he's figured out enough lines where he could even just straight up pass him?
I think once he gets close enough, he can straight up pass him, but I just don't think it's going to be easy. Luckily, he has worked his way through the field, and he's used some lines. He knows what's going on the track and places that, okay, this second best rut is still good enough to make a pass. This one I have to just follow. And I think we kind of talked about it earlier, trying to use different lines. He was losing some time. You need to use your perfect preferred line until you're up on the rear wheel and you're coming into a section that you know you can make the pass on, and then go for the alternate line and try to make something happen, or wait for just a small mistake. So it's not bad to follow when you're running this type of pace. You just need to wait until it's basically a bike length away, and then you got to make something happen at the next available spot. So I think he's just trying to put down heaters, hit his marks every time around. And I mean, look at this. They are yo-yoing though. Pardlow's not really losing any ground. He's looking like he did up at Hangtown. Second round of the year, he was absolutely shredding those first 2 rounds. So Pardlow finally with some spice back under him.
Yeah, Carr did run the fastest lap of the race last time by 2:07 again, as Matherly did his personal best at 2:09.023. He is going faster than Pardlow, but let's see if he can figure out a way through. The fight for second is on. Matherly's trying to pull up alongside of him as we go through these back tabletops here at Spring Creek. Matherly lays over a hard scrub. He's trying to get up this inside, but I don't think he's going to quite get there at the top of the hill. Pardlow shuts the door once again. Round and round we go, coming down to complete lap number 8 onto lap number 9 for this group right here. Matherly's got an inside run.
Whoa.
Pardlow crosses the line back over and makes sure Matherly doesn't get by. Has to check up. Good reactions there by Matherly, because you run into that rear tire, the front end lock will bite you in a hurry, and suddenly he'd be on the ground.
Yeah, that was great reaction time by him. That's something you just really can't predict right there, though. It was good. He was running his own lines. He saw the mistake by Pardlow, but Pardlow's mistake just brought him back into that main preferred line. Had to check up. Luckily, was able to keep it on 2, and now these 2 are just keep pushing. Cade only needs 1 more spot. You got to really realize that, okay, I'm 5 points down. The best I can do is second, unless something crazy happens here and Carr's race just completely falls apart. This is all he's focused on. Getting past him as they go by a down lapper is the only thing he's worried about. So he's got 12 minutes plus 2 laps to make it happen. And I think he's going to get it done by the end of the race. It's just how long is it going to take? But Pardlow's looking great right now, and he's making him work for it. One big mistake by Cade can kind of erase all the progress he's made in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, nice whips for both of them. They're both really doing a good job pace-wise. 2:10.7 Pardlow, 2:10.4 out of Matherly. They're a little bit off of the 2:09.5 that's being laid down out front, but they're basically the fastest riders on the track, aside from Logan Leitzel, who has moved back into 4th place. He's about 10 seconds behind this fight and did a 2:09.6 last time by. Pardlow making a little bit of a bobble going up Mount Martin. Lost a tiny bit of time, but Matherly not able to make too many inroads on it just yet. And it just continues, man. This gap is stabilizing pretty much at the same rate, and I can't figure out yet if Matherly's found an opportunity or a place that he thinks he could make the pass. He's just been funneling into the same lines that we've seen, and so far it hasn't worked yet, but time will tell whether or not he's able to get up there and make this move around Pardlow. A mistake right there. And again, here we go down this back straightaway. Pardlow doesn't get the best drive. Matherly's trying to stay low on the left-hand side of the track, right-hand side of your screen. Turns to the inside of the top of the hill. He's a little bit closer this time. Does he force the issue? No, Pardlow shuts the door again, and still he's holding on to second, man. He's making Matherly work for this thing.
Yeah, he is. He's not going to roll over. And look at that inside line versus second rut. These guys are going to go across, throwing it down. Pardlow is over the finish line. Slightly different lines here. Cade's is faster. He's going to be right up on the rear wheel. That spot before the finish was where I expected the pass to happen. Wasn't able to get close enough. Let's see what happens here. These guys are both really good at this side of the track, though, and I think Austin Pardlow might be actually a little bit faster through here and through the sand section. But when you got the pressure of a pretty much a championship winning racer right behind you. Whoa, look at that. They're both cutting so close. And it's weird, this inside right there is actually faster for these guys. Normally it was how fast can you rail the outside to get this drive. These guys are pretty evenly matched here, I think. Oh, Cade's small bobble keeps it on 2. Cade's going to probably have to take a lap to get up close to him. That's a little bit of breathing room for Austin Pardlow right there. But it's the second half of the track after the downhill of Mount Martin that I think is Cade's specialty, and that's probably where you're going to see a pass unless there's a big mistake by Pardlow.
Yeah, he finally does get a little bit of breathing room, but I'll ask you this. Is that maybe even a little bit of a bad thing? Because he was obviously hyper-focused trying to keep Cade behind him. He had all the pressure. Suddenly you get a tiny bit of a gap, and you think maybe you can rest, and then he's back on you again. This might be a good opportunity where if Matherly can close the gap down in a hurry, he could maybe pounce quickly too.
Yeah, I do think you can kind of catch him off guard now that there's a little bit of a gap, but hopefully got some spotters in his ear kind of telling him, giving him some marks about where he's at. But also Pardlow, it did seem like not cracking under the pressure, but it did seem like there was a little bit of intensity there, and it's maybe some small bobbles that we hadn't seen Parlow making until Cade got on his rear wheel, maybe missing some ruts or something like that. So now he's able to just ride his own race and focus. So we might not see Cade get right back up on his rear wheel until the 30-minute mark, and by then time might be out. Look at how far the gap is now. They were side by side off these jumps. Now they're over a complete jump away from each other.
Yeah, you're right. Because look, we're at almost 22 minutes into this moto, 8.5 minutes or so left plus 2 laps. And this gap has pretty much stayed the same except for this last time by where Matherly made that mistake. Now Parlow has the upper hand. And with this time running down, Matherly's going to have less and less opportunities to make something happen. We'll get back to this battle, though, because we want to see some other things going on throughout the field. Here's Logan Leitzel. He is up into 4th, as we mentioned. A little bobble right there, but he's kind of quietly here all by himself. He's got 12 seconds behind him, 11 or so seconds ahead of him, so very quiet 4th place. Lucas Bruin has made it into the top 5 as well, and he has been having a really good season of late, mixing it up with the guys. Almost won a moto at Southwick as well. Colin Holden, who we also mentioned earlier in the broadcast, he's running well in P6. 7th now for Chelsea. He slipped back to right in front of Tyler Show. They've been kind of locked together the whole moto. 9th for Max Wilczek, and Cepeda is now 10th. Enzo Butigny 11th. Alec Horn in P12. Hayden Stevenson in 13th. Wyatt Grant in 14th. You're seeing how close some of these battles still are with Cole Betts in 15th. I mean, you can see that there's just a few seconds between guys all the way deep here in the field, and these guys are just fighting tooth and nail for a couple extra points. Like, if you're Cole Betts right here, you're only scoring 6 points, but you want to go get 7 points and 8 points, and you still have it right in front of you because these guys are still pretty nose to tail.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. We were watching Wyatt Grant right now on this Cowie. We saw those gaps. Everyone was just one jump away from each other, 2 seconds here and there for about 5 or 6 positions. And these guys can see it. The thing about this track is there's sections like right here. You hit this tabletop, and he sees Stevenson in front of him. And Stevenson sees, as we come right here, he sees Alec Horn right in front of him. And just another second or two, look at that, there's other riders. He sees Butigny there. So these guys are all 2 seconds away from each other, and they're just pushing and pushing and pushing. We're 23 minutes into the moto. Cole Betts is trying to make something happen, as that lapper did nicely move over for that pack there, which is awesome. But these guys are still fighting for points all the way down to the end. And that's the kind of sucks when they're that close, because it's just a carrot dangling in front of you. At least you have something to chase, but Stevenson almost went down, landed way sideways, huge save. And yeah, it's right there hanging in front of you, but if you can't make it happen, it can be frustrating. But now that mistake by Stevenson, Wyatt Grant is going to expect, he just got a gift given to him. Yeah, but inside here, let's see if he can get a drive up the uphill. Oh, that's going to hurt him. Can't get the triple, and Stevenson's going to get that gap right back. It's so crucial to get this triple on the uphill because he loses so much time otherwise, and Grant's just hurting the whole way up, especially on a 250F, man. Yeah, miserable. Just brutal all the way to the top of the hill. Meanwhile, of course, we were going to miss it. All the way up to second now is Cade Matherly. Parlow looks like he went down last time by, so we hung with Matherly and Parlow for 4 or 5 laps waiting for the mistake. Finally, it came with Parlow, and now he's in a heated fight for third. Here comes Logan Leitzel on the 3. Yeah, one thing I did want to point out, too, is right now, Austin Parlow, he hasn't really been showed up since Paula and Hangtown. So if you're Seth Carr up front and you're being told, okay, Parlow's in second, he's still in second, these guys are still chasing, Parlow is Seth Carr's best friend right now. Doesn't matter what team you're on, what's going on, he wants a spoiler. Oh, and Parlow goes down and he is off the bike. That's going to give Logan Leitzel the position. So he survived 25 minutes of being the spoiler, but every time the points are so close in this class because Seth Carr, every time he wins, Logan and Cade are second and third. So he finally had someone to spoil it. It lasted, 5/6 of the race right there, and he finally goes down. You lost that spoiler, so it's going to be, once again, another 3 points over Cade, another 5 points over Leitzel, and it's still great. He's going to extend his lead, but, man, having Parlow there was really good, and, if the same thing happens next moto, at least you can count on Parlow having speed here and knowing that he has a spoiler, and he wants to extend that championship lead as much as possible. Even though he's been dominating these guys, maybe he has a really bad round at Washougal next week or something, and he needs those points as much as possible. But these guys 1, 2, 3 again, and it's like it never happened. It's just right on cue every week with these guys, man. They're going to finish 1, 2, 3 in the motos, it seems like, every single week, no matter where they start.
And Leitzel's finally back in the third place. He's a little bit too far back, I think, to consider getting Matherly unless we have a late race mistake here from the 25, but we're down into the final few minutes plus 2 laps of this race. Matherly is going to watch another 3-point swing in the favor of Seth Carr. It's going to go from 5 points out to 8, and Leitzel's going to see it go from 19 to 24. So we are in 1, 2, 3 order in the championship and on the racetrack right now. Seth Carr has been impeccable out front, man. He's been putting in these laps, lap after lap. 2:11 last time by isn't his best, but it's better than everybody else once again, and he continues to stretch the lead out, 34.3 second lead. And yeah, do it, you won't. In chat has asked about reshade. We do have a reshade that we are using, so that's why everything looks a little bit brighter, a little bit more colorful, a little bit nicer in the game. And that's why you can see everything look a little bit maybe crisper than you have on your regular game. Definitely check out reshade if you haven't used it before. It makes everything look awesome.
Yeah, sorry if our broadcast just looks better than your game does, but you know that's that we bring you the quality stuff here, right, guys? Imagine they made a special track or something for us, and every time we just were a little bit better than what these guys could get. I mean, some of these guys though, they run the frickin' what do you call the super bad Play-Doh up, whatever.
Oh yeah, so they can see the tracks.
Yeah, lame.
Lame.
I mean, it does help a lot, but it's boring. It's worse than the stock track out there riding around. But you can see these guys use something a little bit different to see the erode a little bit better as the track breaks down. You can see all those small ruts and bumps that develop throughout the course of the race. 28-minute mark just hit. What lap times are you running? 2:11?
Just did a 2:10.6. Still 2:10. Fastest rider on the track right now.
So next time he comes by is going to be 2 laps to go because he crossed right at 28 minutes in the race. So 3 laps to go for Seth Carr, over 35 seconds of a lead, and he is chilling. Man, I can't even imagine the confidence I would have. If I could just win one race by 35 seconds, I'd be like, I'm the freaking best there's ever been. No one can, run with me. But the more times that he does this, he knows I've got good starts. I'm the fastest one on the track. It's pretty easy, I'm sure, to be Seth Carr right now. Yeah, he's definitely putting the whole package together, man, and it's really working out well for him. We had a rider down on the inside right there. Not sure that was a lead lap guy, though, based on things shuffling around. It wasn't Jackson Vick or Wyatt Grant by the looks of it, who are 13th and 14th. He's trying to get around Dylan Dallaire right there. Dallaire is in 19th, so he's lapping up into the points now, which we always say, it's a little bit sketchy trying to lap these guys. They're battling each other for points-paying positions, and they don't want to let someone go by. But I feel like if you're Seth Carr right now, you're just like, whatever, let them do their thing. Maybe they'll battle each other. When they let me go, they let me go. I got a big enough lead. I don't really got to worry about it. Dylan Dallaire, he yard sails off the track. Now he's going to go by, that's Buttigny, I think, maybe down on the uphill, 46 or something. Enzo, yeah, I don't know.
No, that's Buttigny right there, excuse me. On
the thing is, there's riders down, which, yeah, it's sketchy. You're the first one to hit them. They haven't gotten the blue bar yet. They don't know lappers are coming. But they're making mistakes. People can be down on the track, throwing themselves off the side of the track, falling right in front of you. But the thing about Seth Carr is he's so much faster than these guys. Until you get to the top, we saw the way that Logan Leitzel and Cade worked through the top 10. Until you get up to the top 10, it's even still, he's so much faster than everyone. It's kind of no problem for him, which is not even trying to be mean. It's just the pace is off. You can look at the best lap time when someone's 3 seconds lap slower and they're making mistakes, and that's at the beginning of the race when the track is perfect. Now he's probably 8 to 10 seconds faster than a lot of these guys around the track. So I mean, it's pretty easy when you've got the speed to lap people, as long as it's not someone really good having a bad race and they can match your pace. But I think for the most part we've seen some pretty good lappers though this year. I don't think there's been anything that really makes us yell at anyone.
There's been a few, but not too bad.
Yeah, one or two.
Yeah. Second place, by the way, we talked about it maybe being a bit out of reach for Leitzel. He has been inching that gap down. 2:10.1 last time by to a 2:12.3. Now a 2:13.3 out of Matherly. And Leitzel, let's see what he lays in this time. He goes 2:09.8, so we're down to 5.6 seconds. And because, like you said, with the timing and scoring the way it is, I think we still have 2 laps to go right now as these guys check in out front. So He might have just enough time to sneak up there as he's cutting through the tough blocks a little bit. And depending on Matherly as well, trying to weave through some lap traffic, that might just play in the hands of Leitzel here late in this race.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they got past everyone who got lapped here, got lapped pretty much 30 seconds ago, you know, on the racetrack time. So they're not really, they haven't had the pressure for a while right now. So Cade's going to be the first one they see. Then they also see Logan Leitzel coming up just a couple seconds behind. And it's they're going to be a little bit more keen, I think, to move forward because now they go, okay, I'm falling into the grips of the rest of the field right now. And they've already been passed. Ooh, that line looks so sick. I want to ride it.
It looks fun, right?
I want to ride it, but I know I'd probably just eat crap over and over trying to get it. But this track looks like it's breaking down pretty fun. Look at this. Logan Leitzel avoiding the lappers right now, moving all the way to the left. This rider moving over on the right side, giving them the preferred line, so nice by him. Logan working his way up through 3 seconds now when it was 5.5 when we started on board. Now 2.7. Logan Leitzel is making gains on Cade right here. Just got to keep hitting your marks, and I believe by the end of this race, we might see it close enough for Logan to maybe make a pass.
This is going to come all the way down to the flag, no question about it, as up front checking into the white flag lap is Seth Carr. He's already gone over the finish line jump as we continue to watch Leitzel inch closer to Cade Matherly. And speaking of inching, dude, he's on the very edge of the track right there. So close, just running by the tough blocks, but he is flying, launching out to flat, just scrubbing over laning perfectly in that rut. Matherly, though, seems like he's maybe picked it up ever so slightly because that section was so good and he barely gained time. So here we go, coming down to the final lap. He's gained another 3 or so seconds. Will he gain 3 more this time by? Matherly's got to get on it to finish second in this moto as we come across on the final lap. It is a 2:13.4 for Cade Matherly, a 2:09.6 Logan Leitzel. He has the upper hand. Can he close the gap and get it done? It is going to be all the way to the flag between these two.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky for these guys because Cade Matherly knows that he's there. He knows he's gained this time. He's got all the pressure on him. Logan Leitzel, though, is going to also be full send. They have such a huge gap to fourth. Doesn't matter if he falls. He's going to go balls to the wall as fast as possible. You're going to see him pushing the limits of the side of the track. You're going to see him jumping in the ruts like we saw him flowing in the back section. And he's pushing. He's going to try to catch Cade no matter what. And it looks like he's gaining just a little bit here. 2 different ruts right here, but that's Logan's preferred. If he's hitting that, there's no one around him. Logan is catching Cade. It's really just a matter of if he's going to get there before time expires. Who cares? They're still both in a championship battle. Look at how close this is. He needs these other 2 points, and he's going to fight his ass off to get it. Let's see what happens here.
Nearly side by side. Dualies! Big ones, and Leitzel's trying to chop the line off at the top of the hill into P2. Matherly defensive inside. Leitzel outside. Going to have the inside down the hill. Jumps to the outside line to cut it off and takes over second place. What a power move by Logan Leitzel. Gets all the way up to Matherly and gets it on the last lap. It looks like Carr backed off a little bit because the gap isn't as big as it once was, but what a move by Leitzel.
Yeah, Leitzel, Carr, maybe he might have even gotten into it with a lapper. He's going to be taking this thing home, but man, that battle is definitely not over behind him. That's going to be a fight to the death for these two. Leitzel going down that hill there, so they still got a couple sections to go. Seth Carr coming in. He's going to take 250 Moto 1 as he comes around the last corner here at Millville.
Seth Carr, your 250 Moto 1 winner, whips it alongside, and it looks like Matherly went down. Leitzel got to him, passed him, and perhaps broke him a little bit. What a move. Ooh. Logan Leitzel goes from 19 back to only 22 back. That's some huge championship point salvage to get a couple back in his favor. And if he can come out and win Moto 2, he wins another overall on the trot. So that is massive for the number 3 to get P2. And I feel like Matherly, that's probably going to break you a little bit mentally to know that, man, you charged forward with Leitzel and he still had a little extra in the tank left at the end.
Can we talk about Logan Leitzel just ran the second fastest lap of the race, 2:07.414 on lap 16,
Jeez.
Making that stuff happen. Seth Carr ran a 2:07.382, so 0.032 seconds different, but Logan Leitzel threw that down on the last lap, and we said Cade had the pressure. Logan just had to send it full bore and absolutely laid it down. That was an amazing lap. And yeah, Cade's got to be broken a little bit as Lucas Brune comes around in fourth. 40 seconds back. Chelsea going to take down fifth right here. Part of low 6. Very close finish between those guys. Look at that. Such a long race. 36 minutes, and those guys finished within 5-10 seconds.
That's actually not a lap. That's a lapper behind Wilczek, but Tyler Show is hanging tough. Yeah,
Pushing.
I mean, like, it's crazy how close these battles are coming all the way to the flag. These guys are still fighting all the way through. 16 riders stayed on the lead lap despite just a dominant moto from Seth Carr. And looks like Show's going to finish up 9th. Cepeda, P10. Alec Horn, 11th. Jackson Vick, 12th. 13th for Cole Betts. 14th for Jackson Lindsay. And Wyatt Grant will round out our top 15. Maybe Race Cobble trying to push him all the way to the flag here. He's the last guy in the lead lap. It was Dylan Dallaire who ended up one lap down in P17. 18th for John Heilman. 19th for Enzo Buttigni. And Ben Nerona ended up in 20th. So quite an interesting first 250 moto. Yes, Seth Carr clearly has the speed and the starts to win, but I definitely want to see Leitzel and Matherly start with him in Moto 2 because all those guys were cooking.
I mean, dude, he's still ripping around the track, getting practice in on this rough track. Now he slows down. And once we start talking about him, he took his victory lap there. Not a win in his book or in the points, but that's definitely a win in his book. Fought so hard all the way back from, outside of 21st place on the first lap. Made his way up, got past his championship rival there, lost 3 points to Seth Carr, so he's going to be 21 down. But, quick math. Cade lost 5, so Cade is now 10 down. So just like that, he lost a couple points from the front, but he's working his way up in the second. One bad race by Carr, another bad race by Cade, and man, these guys are inching back and forth, and that was damn impressive racing by Logan Leitzel, but also the domination that we saw from Seth Carr from start to finish, pole to pole, baby.
It is interesting to see how this 250 class dynamic continues to change week after week. But Leitzel did win last week at Redbud. Let's see if he can rebound in Moto 2 and get the job done here at Spring Creek. Seth Carr, your Moto #1 winner here in the 250 class. All right. That does it for Moto 1 of 250s. Now it's time to get ready to go 450 racing here. Whoops, grabbed the wrong one.
Shout out Ryan Chelsea and all of his fans. He got a whole, Ryan Cheesecake they call him, got a whole bakery in chat.
Whole bakery.
Coming home with the 5th place ride, just edging out the 6th place rider. Ayo, number 50. Edging out number 52. End up on
SMX. Come over here. You got to calm down.
When was the last time number 52 got edged out?
Quite a bit. Hey, big shout out to Carl Novak as well for his 4th month of using that Prime sub. Hey, if you guys got Prime subs, be sure to drop them off. I mean, I know a lot of you guys hang out here week after week. If you can support the stream, we greatly appreciate it. Help pay out those massive diaper funds I'm about to have with baby number 2 on the way. A-Wood, man, he keeps asking for more money every time he comes down. We got to pay him the big bucks. So if you can help out, we greatly appreciate it. But no worries if not. We love bringing you the action here on Start Your Systems TV every week, regardless of which. We got 450 Moto 1 rolling to the gate. Let's give you guys a quick rundown of who is going to the line right now. We got Noah Bindis, Jacob Hubbard, Brandon Cocroft, Blake O'Brien, Trevor Burns, Adam Holm, Jared Gummison, Austin Schaefer, Jake Spees, Devin Davis, Kyle Boardman, Colby Eaglin, Jeremy Schiavro, Jaden Gomez, Killian Ortiz, Ethan Park, Seth Shirley, Jeff Cooper, Tyler Blowers, Anthony Pachone, Aaron Rockefeller, Jason Stubbs, Caleb Hall, Chase Donovan, Jeremy Smith, Will Now, Teddy Lehman, Austin Baird, Julian O'Ree, Tyler Lang, Braden Castellaneta, Brandon Larson, Trent Adams, Payson Johnson, Sam Weigman, Bryce Whelan, Pablo Vial, Joseph Pilsner, and Bodie Parker. Only 39 guys for some reason going to the gate right now, but we'll figure out what the heck is going on with that. And
someone fell asleep.
Someone did fall asleep.
Nate racing?
Huh?
Is Nate racing?
Yeah, no, Nate definitely falling asleep for show. Of this group, though, A-Wood, have you got a Design Lab Co. whole shot pick?
I do. Do you know, real quick, sorry.
The Muffin Man? I do.
The Muffin Man? Where'd Braden Carter finish? Did he even race?
He did. He finished like 24th or something like that.
That sucks. All right. You know what? I'm going to take his boy. He hasn't got them in a while, which is why I'm going to take him. Jacob Hubbard.
Hasn't got him in a while. Meanwhile, like whole shot at Southwick.
It's like 2 rounds ago. He only whole shot one.
All right.
I'm going to go Hubbard. I think he's got the vibe. Southwick, I said it's the same. It's a sand track. You got to get that power wheelie going. Jacob Hubbard, first moto. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh, man, who do I go with if you're going to pick Hubbard, though? No Leclerc, obviously. Looks like Leclerc's pulled out of the series. Shame to see the 5-time and defending champion no longer with us racing, but man, who else do I want to pick here? Bilar's got some holies this week. You know what? I'm going Brandon Larson. He didn't steer me wrong in the GPs this week. I'm going to go with him into turn number 1 here tonight and see if we can get another big one for the 76 Phil's EVP ride. Also, shout out to Jack Fowler in the chat. Year 11 of pro sim racing, and it's his home track. So excited to go out there. He says he's hanging it up if he doesn't score points. So we'll see. He's got to score points tonight to keep it going to year 12 for Jack Fowler. We'll see.
All DDoS people for you.
No surprise to see Doug Oakley in the YouTube chat thinks his boy JS4 is going to get the holy. Doug Oakley always hanging out.
Doug Oakley's wild.
He's always on Jeremy Smith's corner, man. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, what a legend.
We gotta pick for Trog from Saru.
Oh yeah, Trog. That's the boy Trevor Burns right there. Trogman. Also, you talked about my crazy fees. Every time my name gets mentioned in chat, I get $5 extra. It's in the contract. So when my mic was blowing out everyone's ears, I made so much money. So thank you guys.
Yeah, we did that on purpose too. We just
blared his mic so
they would have to talk about it.
Yeah, I wanted to ruin your life.
We don't actually know where Leclerc went. He just decided not to race Redbud. We thought maybe it was an off week thing or something like that. But yeah, it looks like he has called it a season early. Hopefully that's not the end of
lose all his crypto money or what?
Hopefully that's not the end of Alexis Leclerc's career racing in MX Simulator. It's been a long and storied one, no question about it. But as of right now, not back with us for the second week in a row. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it is a video game. All these people have real lives, and Leclerc is doing some stuff in France, and he's always been up super early to do these races, but maybe just couldn't make it here tonight. So hopefully it's not the end of the story for the 5-time national champ, 2018 Moto Option Supercross champ, but we shall see. As we see everybody else out here going to the line here for the first race of the night. I got most people's skins. We don't got Cocroft, and we don't have Jeremy Smith's bike for some reason. Someone's going to have to alert him to the authorities that he's using the wrong skins. But we'll see. We don't have Sam Wagman's gear, but we do have his bike, which is using someone else's bike. A couple people not lined up. They out of this one. Straight to Yale. But let's see what happens. Aywood and I will be throwing hands if Twizzy doesn't get a lit kit this season. Tyson Johnson, not about it in the YouTube chat, man. He is here for his boys and his boys only. He'll stand his ground.
We'll have to do a lit kit sometime. I'm sure Payson Johnson's going to be leading by 55. Actually, no. Trogman's taking the win.
Oh, Trogman for the win. Aywood just going out on a limb before we even drop the gate.
I just picked against Twizzy's Payson Johnson, right? Who the hell else is on your team?
Cade.
Yeah, but his kit wasn't that fire.
Well, what about Payson?
What about Payson's kit that you got?
What about Payson's kit?
Oh, that's kind of...
The red boots are pretty heat with
I
that.
like the top of the chest, like the pattern that it looks like icy. You have that gear?
I do. It would be complete with red goggles. Not having red goggles drops it down a notch for me.
With the red gloves, red boots, I agree. If he had white boots, it's Fox gear, right?
Yeah.
White Instincts, and then just red gloves, I feel like then you can get away with the blue matching the gear on the goggles. But if you're going red hands, red feet, you got to go red eyeballs,
bro.
They all match.
All right, so you have got Jacob Hubbard. I have Brandon Larson, and probably neither of them will come out with the Design Lab Co. whole shot, but we're about to find out. 450 Moto 1 coming at you here. We are loaded in. The 30 cart is sideways. We are ready to drop the gate. Here we go. 450 Moto 1 from Spring Creek. Oh, a couple guys jumped the gate. A couple guys hit. Looks like Castellaneta's got a pretty good line on the 22. It was Hubbard who got into the first turn first. Does he lead them out? No, it's Larson. B-Lars, let's go, B-Lars. Get to the line, baby. Get there, get there, get there.
What?
Brandon Larson rips the Design Lab Co. whole shot. I told you, Aywood. Never doubt B-Lars. He's always going to come through when you need him.
That's one of the wildest things I've ever seen. Shout out my boy B-Lars. What a legend. Also, what is going on? Phil's ex-EVP. He's on a collab with 2 teams? Like, one's a Yamaha team. What are you doing? Too many friends. That's what he said. He's too popular these days. He's a freaking swag lord out here. Brandon Larson, though, getting the whole shot and just trying to run away with this thing. A couple notable names, though, around the top. Seth Shirley, 21st, coming around. Payson Johnson, all the way back in 25th. And is that Cowie, my boy Trogman, right there in 3rd? Who do we got in 2nd and 3rd right now?
It is Eaglin in 3rd on the Cowie that you're seeing there, I believe, on the district Cowie. Yep, there he is. So where is Trogman? Trogman is buried down the order, I believe. I'm trying to find the 40 machine. I cannot see him. I'm blind, man. I can never find these guys. He's in 33rd place, Trevor Burns, so tough luck for him. Battle for the lead is a cooking. Here comes Braden Castellaneta on the number 22, Phil Ski and Snowboard Honda, jumping down the inside, trying to take the lead away from his pseudo teammate. We don't really know what team he's on, but he's not in the lead anymore. Braden Castellaneta takes it over on the number 22 ride. He's out front. He's trying to bring Eaglin with him, and we got some unfamiliar faces, at least in this 450 NA Pro Series, out front. Castellaneta's trying to pick up a dub. Eaglin's trying to get back in the mix. Larson's not going to lead the opening lap, but he's still up here as well.
Yeah, B-Lars, I mean, getting the whole shot, though, especially when you're calling it, is a great enough feeling. And coming across the line in 2nd ain't that bad on an over 2-minute lap time track, especially when you got someone like Braden Castellaneta right up on your rear wheel. So he's going to lead this thing around. And this is pretty good. I think we're going to see a pretty good finish in this moto. We've seen that some of these guys can work their way up. Trevor Burns just moved up into 24th. I'm sure Payson Johnson was able to work his way up a little bit, but I would really like to see a way different podium right now. I think Colby Eaglin is in the catbird seat, and I think we might see him kind of take this dub if he can keep it on 2 wheels. Not 100% sure exactly all the names back. I'm calling it. Colby Eaglin wins this moto.
There's a pretty big gap of different riders mixed up in this top 10 right now. He's got Bryce Whelan right behind him, Bodie Parker, Anthony Pachone, Julian O'Reed, Jaden Gomez, Joseph Pilsner, and Jeremy Smith inside the top 10. Where's Lang? He's 16th. Seth Shirley 17th. Johnson is 18th. Trevor Burns is 23rd. Some of our big hitters that have been battling out at the front are buried, and we're seeing some of these other guys get up here and have an opportunity to maybe go win this moto. I mean, we know based on what we saw in the 250 class, you get clean air on this track. That is huge, and Castellaneta has it right now. But even some of these other guys, like, it's not that difficult to be in a 2nd or 3rd position right now because you have so much wiggle room around you. You're not really in a fight. You're just trying to put your lap times down, get yourself established on these opening laps, and they've got a big gap on the rest of the field already starting to brew.
Yeah, kind of talking about that as far as working your way through these huge uphills and downhills. It's like a drag race, right? There's ruts at the bottom that are preferred to get a drive, and then there's these crazy downhills. If there's someone going slow in front of you, it can be kind of hard to work your way through. So very difficult track to pass on in certain spots. If you get a good drive in the sand rollers, you can make an easy pass there. But once you get to the up and down hills, a little bit tricky for these guys. And then also, this might be the worst start in the game. Like, sneaky worst start because it's so fast, so long, right hand, double like 90s. So the way the apex is, it's up a hill. People are falling, and that's where Payson Johnson, he could have been going to get second. Whoa,
Castellaneta off the track.
Whoa.
Sorry to break you up there, but
fine.
3 wide over the finish line jump. Oh, B-Lars yard sails out of 2nd and takes down Whelan with him as Colby Eaglin goes to the lead. We almost had a big crash right there. Larson's the only one that ends up really going off the bike, and now it's Eaglin versus Castellaneta out front.
Yeah, Eaglin out front where I thought he was going to end this race at, so pretty good start to get himself up here before the 5-minute mark. He's got 25 minutes plus 2 laps to keep extending this thing. He's just got to put his head down and start hammering out lap times, though. Braden Castellaneta right there, no slouch right behind him. Definitely not going to take the pressure off, and look at this. He gets a better drive through the sand. See if he can make something work or put some pressure back on Colby and see if he can pressure him into making a mistake, or these two are just going to train away and try to get away from the rest of the field and separate themselves.
So Bryce Whelan actually ran the fastest lap of the race and then crashed on B-Lars. He's now back to 10th. Larson picked it up in, he's now right behind him, I should say, in 10th, and Whelan moved up into 8th. By the way, Payson Johnson is in 27th place. He's buried. Burns is up to 15th. He got Seth Shirley and T-Lang with him still in that mid group right there as Parker. Bodie Parker moved up to third. Anthony Pachone fourth. Jaden Gomez inside the top 5 as the lead battle continues to go on. I think you're right, man. I don't think Castellaneta is going to let Eaglin get away with this thing. He wants to go right back after him and try to get back into the lead right away.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, God, that's so sick how they double to the inside and then double down right there. What an awesome line that these guys are using. I thought that Braden was going to get yarded. I'm not going to lie. Once Colby made the pass, but it's almost 2 laps now, and Braden told me that, or is showing me right now, that he's got some fight in him, and he's not going to let him get away. Small mistake right there. We see him lose touch a little bit, but look at the screenshot or the shot in the back of your screen right now. These guys are pulling away slightly. Shout out to Piccioni, though, in fourth, and who's in third?
Bodie Parker.
Bodie Parker. Great rides by them, great starts, and man, they're gonna have some career bests maybe if they can hold on to this thing and keep it up front. Colby Eaglin, though, tossing some huge whips, showing us that he's comfortable running this pace up front. He ain't scared of what's right behind him.
Yeah, he's actually inching away now from Castellaneta, so as quickly as Bodie Parker, a very strong third place early on. Great to see him have a good start to this moto, and honestly keeping the leaders pretty close right now. He's not letting them get too far away either, so we'll see if he can't make something happen. And then here's a battle for fourth, Anthony Pachone and Jaden Gomez, a couple names we don't get to see at the very sharp end of the field in pro motocross very often. Pachone had a good Grand Prix earlier this week, but Gomez, another triple digit guy, starting to fight up here with Digital Worldwide Freak Dog Racing on the 196. Crazy name right there, but regardless of which, top 5 performance so far. And honestly, like, look, you know, even top 5, 7 minutes into the moto is huge, but like you said, the gaps are so wide already. If he can stay on 2 wheels for a little while, this might just be a good guaranteed spot by the end of the moto.
Yeah, Jaden, just like me, for real, absolutely crushing it right now. I mean, you stay up front, you keep running consistent lap times, he's got a carrot right in front of him to chase, so if he can stay on Anthony right now, he's in 5th. Just keep this going. The longer this race happens, Payson Johnson still in 22nd place, 35 seconds back. He's not going to come up and give you trouble anytime soon. You're almost a third of the way through this race. You're still in 5th. You've got someone to chase. Just freaking have a day, Jaden Gomez. Go ahead, get your best finish ever. Love watching these guys, shouting them out and giving them some their sponsors some love, all sort of stuff when these guys are up front having great rides. This is what dreams are made of right here. Sometimes you only get one ride like this in your career, and you got to make the most of it. Jaden Gomez had a great start, and he is looking like he belongs up here. He's freaking riding great. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is always cool to see some good, fresh faces at the front, and this fight remains pretty status quo, about 2 seconds between them, and then Parker hanging tough in third. Pachone, Gomez, and then Brandon Larson after that crash at the end of lap number 2 slipped back to 6th now. Adam Holmes side by side with his teammate Bryce Whelan for 7th. Ooh, these little mini ones on the uphill step up right there. Nice ones right there. Whelan's trying to pass him around the outside, turns to the inside at the bottom of the hill. Does he force the issue and get it done? Nice crossover. Oh, man, Holm is still trying to give him the business as here comes T-Lang. Finally, we get a sighting of the number 5 JIBR.co, reigning MXGP world champion, up here mixing it up with these guys. He gets up the inside, passes Adam Holm. He's into 8th. He's trying to get Whelan for 7th and bouncing off that outside wall. Let's see if he crosses over right here and cuts back to the inside out of this corner. He's got a good run. And then the whoop section is always where these guys can make or break some time. So Whelan's got to get on it entering this section. He's going to go wide, let Lang have the inside, but does Lang get a drive? Not quite close enough. Whelan uses that outside to his advantage nicely to out-drag him in the whoops, but he's going to have to go wide here, and Lang up the inside might just make it happen anyway. Whelan's trying to fight back down the inside out of this corner, and it's close. Lang shuts the door and gets the pass done. He's all the way up now into 7th.
What a battle by these two. This is awesome. It was 3 wide, and then you're going to lose a little bit off the end of this battle here. Tyler Lang. Oh, Bryce Whelan goes down, slides out, clips the bail, wads up right before. That's going to allow Shirley to get by as well, so he's going to lose a couple positions. Seth Shirley trying to work his way up and get into that 3-way battle up front with Adam Holm. And, man, these guys are just working. Whelan fell all the way back to 11th right there, just in front of Jeff Cooper. These Honda riders are working their way up on the JRBR Co. Adam Holm misses the triple right there. That's going to allow Seth Shirley to get the triple. He missed both of them. Seth Shirley just gained so much time. You missed that line, especially on the 450, and these guys hit it. You're going to lose close to 5 seconds out here.
Yeah, Seth Shirley just ran the fastest lap of the race last time by at a 2:05.460. He was flying around the track. and that's much faster than quite a bit of everybody else. Everyone's 206, 207's up. T-Lane did a 206.8, and pretty much everybody else was 208s or higher. So these guys are flying right now on those JIBR.co machines. Anthony Pachone has already been shuffled backwards. Lang has now moved up to 6th as Pachone drifts back to 7th. Update for Payson Johnson fans out there. He's now 16th. He's continuing to charge forward. And then, unfortunately, it looks like Trevor Burns is having a horrific first moto. Still 35th, not making much progress. 225 last time by, continues to crash. I think he's all but out of getting some good points in this one, which probably spells the end of his day in terms of an overall perspective. Hopefully he can turn it around for Moto 2 and give him a good fight. But this fight now continues. Shirley now on the back door of Pachone, trying to get by him for 7th. And that fight continues. Looks like Castellaneta went down. Bodie Parker's up to 2nd. Castellaneta back to 3rd as we continue to watch this fight for P7.
Yeah, 35th place for Trevor Burns is crazy. Not where I expected those guys to be. They must be having a really hard time making some passes through the field. But look at this. Anthony Pachone has some pressure right now by Seth Shirley. He's going to try to go around the outside, and he is not going to be able to make it happen just yet. That inside rut is definitely preferred. Gets a little bit slower as you go out. Anthony Piccione is going to live to fight not another day, but maybe another corner or two with Seth Shirley right back on the rear wheel here. Definitely has the speed. You said he was the fastest man on the track last lap around. Look at these two absolutely tossing it out here, feeling good. But this might not be his position right now for Anthony once they get to the bottom of Mount Martin. Watch this uphill.
Inside.
Seth Shirley.
450s can do that, and Shirley gets to the inside. Drag race up the hill now. Shirley cuts across to the right side of the track. They're still side by side. Who outdrags who? Little better run for Pachone, but Shirley's going to try to shut the door, and he's got it. Shirley did run another 205 last time by. He was the fastest rider on the track once again, so he is really on the charge right now. He's only 19 seconds off the lead, and he's going 2 or 3 seconds faster than everybody else. So finally, Seth Shirley's putting it all together on consistency level. He's running these good lap times we know that he can do, but to do it consistently is another thing, and it's working right now for him. Now he's got his eyes set on his teammate T-Lang to try to get up to 6th.
Yeah, it's really impressive to see the way he qualified today, and then for him to be backing it up in the motos, absolutely tossing it too. He's feeling good. Oh, and he makes
his teammate. Yeah, Lang down at the top of the hill.
So Pachone's going to be able to go by Lang. Lang lays it over. He's going to have Adam Holm right behind him as he gets up. Loses 2 positions, almost loses another one. Gets a little bit squirrely there in that rut before the finish. Tyler Lang trying to regroup here, bring it all together here, and work his way back up front. Let's see what happens here, man. Tyler Lang, whoa, he's just all over the place right now, Kellen. Looks like that might have rattled him. He'd been riding so smooth for a while there, and maybe just a little bit frustrated, and your hands start to cramp up, and you start making some bad decisions. You're not as focused.
Yeah, that's always something that comes through late in these races, or as we get later into the race. It's still only 13 and a half minutes in. We have so much racing left to go in this one. Here is Bodie Parker, who was in 2nd. He's dropped back to 4th, but he just got Jaden Gomez for 3rd. This is your fight for the final podium spot. Gomez is hung tough in this fight, and Parker, who picked it up from that crash, now still battling it out. It's 4 seconds between Eaglin and Castellaneta, 13 seconds back to Bodie Parker and Jaden Gomez battling it out. And then Shirley is starting to close in now from 5th. He's only 4 seconds behind this battle. So as all these battles are continuing to go on around the racetrack, you're starting to see these fastest guys on the track continuing to move their way forward. Shirley's going to be knocking on the door of this battle before long. And then Johnson, he had moved forward, did a 209, but then crashed again, now back to 18th. So struggles for our championship leader, opening up the door of opportunity for some more faces up here to perhaps get some good moto scores. And as we get to halfway, I mean, look, like we said, if you're Jaden Gomez, you just stay on 2 wheels early in this thing. We're now halfway in, and he's still fighting up here with these guys. Yeah,
I was going to say this is so impressive, Kellen, watching Jaden Gomez still at the halfway mark. We talked about it early on. It was only like 3 or 4 minutes into the race. We were talking about how impressive it is for him to be up here. Him and Bodie Parker just absolutely running great lap times up here, staying smooth. Both of them seemingly haven't gone down, or else we would have seen some more separation. It's been the same gap for a while here, and Jaden's looking great. His speed looks great. The way I've seen him rail some ruts, as I say that, makes a bobble right in front of us. Commentator's curse as always, but still throwing huge whips, having the time of his life, trying to put in the best finish he's ever had here. and he's looking great on his digital worldwide freak dog racing machine. Trying to make some moves though, man. You know, if he's up there, you're in fourth, you're saying, okay, this is my best race so far I've ever had. Feeling good. He's running great times. Definitely not scared to send it, but he really, really, really wants to get this third place position, get on the podium. It's a game changer right there. A third as your best result compared to a fourth is huge. Just to be able to say that you podium the Moto, get that interview, you know.
I mean,
famous.
Even Bodie Parker though, like this would be a massive result for him if he can get third in this one. They're starting to perhaps feel the heat a little bit. Seth Surley continuing to close the gap down. 2:07.4 last time by, was not faster than Castellaneta in second. Castellaneta the fastest rider on the track last time through. So yeah, it looks like Johnson now outside of the points, man. He's all the way back to 21st place. In fact, let's go back and just see what's going on with him, because it's still not going very well for our points leader. He is just in a dogfight back here as well, and every time I look back, he's gone down again. So what's happening as he goes by, is that Hubbard or maybe Larson off the track right there? It was Hubbard, as he goes around into now 20th place, 19th I should say. Made a pass there, but another mistake.
That's what's happening right there. I mean, I was going to say the way he's riding, it's erratic. He just got up in the 19th, made some moves. Now he's back in 20th. He's got all these guys right on him. These battles are crazy that they're doing, but the way that he's riding is not how you ride in the middle of the field. He's just pushing too much dualies as we come across the Chatapult right there. Probably the most dualies we've had so far this year, and I cannot wait till Unadilla.
Oh.
That is a can't miss round. Must be here. Must can't miss. Must can't miss. You guys better all be here shouting out some dualies. Shots for dualies. We might be dead.
Oh, boy.
Payson Johnson making some moves, though, but, I mean, the way that he's riding, this is the other side of the coin. We've seen Payson Johnson, fastest lap time by 5 seconds every lap, domination. Then we've seen Payson Johnson, bad start, trying to go too fast, and finishing 15th. It's just the way it is. Luckily, he's got a pretty much 60-point lead over the rest of the field. He can afford it, but he's got to find that middle ground. I know he says he doesn't care and he can do this. He'll get back up to maybe 10th, by the end of it, but time's actually running out. 17, almost 18 minutes into the race, and he's still barely flirting with points.
Yeah, he's trying to get through the field as quickly as he can and salvage some decent points. Austin Schaefer, Jeremy Schiabro, Julian Ori still right in front of him. Jeff Cooper not too far up the road from them either. And then Kyle Boardman, I mean, like, he's got basically a freight train of riders all the way up to 13th here for Boardman. Big gap up to Holm in 12th, but he can make some quick passes in succession before long and get up there. Let's go back to our leader and check in with Colby Eaglin. It's only 1.8 now. Castellaneta continues to inch that gap down, and Eaglin just made another mistake at the bottom of the hill. Here we go. We got another fight for the lead going on again. 18 and a half minutes into this moto, so we still have over 10 minutes left in this race, plus those 2 laps. And once again, Eaglin's going to have to deal with pressure from who else but Braden Castellaneta. They fought each other early in the race. Castellaneta crashed his way back a little bit. Now he's back on the charge. Eaglin's the one making mistakes, and Castellaneta looks like he's figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has, Kellen. You're right about that. The crazy thing is that he crashed his way away from the lead, but he still was able to stay in second, so you at least have that confidence. Okay, I'm still on the podium. I don't have to work past anyone. I just have to work my way back. And as long as you can put down some consistent lap times,
Hey, went over here spilling his water on the couch.
just jumped so big across the couch. As long as you can put down some lap times, every mistake that he sees Colby Eaglin make now in front of him, he's going to slowly gain more confidence. Watch that 1.766 go down to a 1.6, then slowly keep inching up. And I think we might see a battle for the lead here in the next couple laps with the confidence that Braden has been gaining back. But never losing second after a great start between these two. These guys are having a damn good ride right here, both consistent, keeping it on 2 wheels and throwing down some heaters.
Yeah, it seems like Castellaneta yo-yoing a little bit, catches him, loses a little bit of time. It continues to go back and forth, and now it seems like Eaglin might have a slight upper hand, but we'll see, man. It seems like the speed changes lap after lap. Castellaneta goes a little bit faster, Eaglin goes a little bit faster, and another thing to consider here is they still haven't really hit the bulk of lap traffic yet. They've lapped a couple of guys, Sam Weigman a lap down in 38th, for example, but if you look at the map in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, we're probably maybe 3-4 minutes away from them finally catching the tail end of like the real main pack, and then maybe another 10 minutes from now, when 30 minutes are up, they're going to be on the back end of really the bulk of the pack. There's a huge group of riders going down that back straightaway in the tabletop section. And while they're fighting each other, they might have to fight that battle soon as well.
Yeah, I wanted to check out, is that lead pack, though, we don't have to go back, but that lead pack, maybe you can check with the times, is that where Payson Johnson is? I saw Payson was up to 13th, but there's a huge gap between what looks like 15th to 40th, like 20th to 40th, and then that front group, and then maybe 15 seconds on the track. It's kind of crazy how separated that is.
So Johnson right now, just for reference, is just coming out of the U-turn in the sand rollers. He's like right behind P12. There's a little like kind of double dot on top of each other going through the switchbacks now. That's where Johnson is. So he's still like kind of in the middle of the front group, but not buried in the chaos that we're talking about back there.
Okay, yeah. So, but still pretty far back off the rest of these guys, but not in risk of getting caught. So we'll go back on. We were just on board with Braden Castaneda, had this gap down under 1 second. Colby Eaglin keeps jumping from that inside out. Got it clean that lap. The lap before, he made a small mistake. But these guys are absolutely fighting to the death. It's not close enough to where they're throwing it in on each other.
Down.
Huge mistake.
Finally, it's a big mistake out of the 24 that tosses away the race lead. It's been building for several laps, and this time he just goes a little bit deep. I honestly, what I had noticed was Eaglin was doing the drop down step on line, and Castaneda was going step over then table jumping into the ruts, and it seems like Eaglin maybe just pushed a little bit too hard going off the table from the top trying to get into those ruts, pushed the nose down, and down he went.
Yeah, it's weird because the line that Eaglin is making seemed to be the more difficult line at the beginning, but then once you're up top, once you get across it, it's smooth, but I think he just tried to push it in, like you said, a little bit too hard in that dip with all the ruts, made a small mistake, push in the wrong spot right there, and man, after leading for pretty much started in about third place, worked his way up and has led most of these 22 minutes here, finally goes down, lets Braden take over the lead. And now he's going to be fighting back. And honestly, Kellen, I think that these two are too evenly matched for him to really make up the time by himself. He's going to either need to drop the hammer and push outside of his comfort zone, which can lead to him going down, or he just needs to kind of ride around, wait the next 8 minutes, and then see at the 2-lap board mark kind of where you're at and if you can push from there, or if it's going to be out of reach. But right now, Braden is definitely in the driver's seat.
Battle for the final podium spot starting to heat up. Seth Shirley has closed the gap down onto Bodie Parker. Parker still holding on the number 32 Yogi, backed by Nexus Yamaha. But the Gas JIBR.co machine number 2, reigning 250 motocross champion Seth Shirley, rookie on a 450 this year, finally moves up to the 450 class after winning another indoor title, battling it out, trying to get into P3 here on the racetrack. Goes to the outside of Parker. They're both going to funnel into this main inside rut, but Shirley's got a good run. Let's see if he can do anything with it down this back straightaway.
Yeah, not close enough yet. Let's see right here. Scrubbing just a little bit lower, trying to make it work. One more jump here to scrub. He's going to have it. I think he's going to have the inside. No, just gets cut off right there. What a great move. And Seth Shirley is going to have to wait another corner to try to get it done, losing a little bit of time. But what he likes is, or what he's going to see is that he has a spot where he can gain a lot of time and make something happen. But I don't think he's going to need to wait till that next spot. Oh, Parker. Huge mistake right there. Bodie Parker is going to slide out, and that's going to allow Seth Shirley to get by easily. If you guys are wondering where Jaden Gomez was, my Lord and Savior, he did fall back into 9th place. Sad. I was really rooting for him. Always love a good 3-digit rider having a career best right now, but he is now back in this dogfight with chasing Brandon Larson, and who just made a small mistake, so he's going to get it up on that rear wheel. And has a little bit of pressure from Bryce Whelan right behind him.
Yeah, that is, it's actually a bit of a gap back to Payson Johnson, then Bryce Whelan. We got a lapped rider in the mix here. Not actually sure
Bryce
who that
had the blue gear.
is.
I just guessed, No,
I mean, there is a lapper, but I don't know who it is. It's really confusing. There is Johnson, though. He went by. Adam Holm, Ethan Parks also mixing it up here, battling inside of the top 10. So Johnson's made it all the way now to 8th, and he's only a few seconds behind Jaden Gomez. So let's see. We got 5 minutes plus 2 laps left to go. Johnson can see basically, once he get past B-Lars, it's another 20 seconds up to T-Lang. I think the best he can hope for is P6. Yeah,
he's in 8th right now, and he's looking at 7th and 6th right in front of him. So, Yeah, we'll go through and see. I'd like to see the gap, obviously, once this battle's over. Jaden Gomez fighting with B-Lars right now, trying to make it work. These guys about to go over this catapult. Almost got some dualies there if they were maybe a little bit closer and tossing it a little bit bigger. But yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you're down in the back for so long. You can only make up so many points, and it's not going to really hurt his championship hopes too much, but have a couple more of these rounds or races, and it might get a little bit scary for Payson Johnson as we get towards the end of the season.
Little scrub jump going on the uphill as Jaden Gomez lays it over in a drag race to the top. Inside line for Johnson. Might get both of them coming down off the top as Gomez pushes out wide. B-Lars charging down the inside, Johnson down the outside.
Holy
Gomez going
shit.
deep down the middle, trying to push Johnson out. Doesn't quite get there. B-Lars goes defensive. Gomez gets back around Payson Johnson at the bottom of the hill, passes the points leader and former champion of the series back into P7 he goes. What a move by the 196. Now Johnson has to try to figure out a way back by.
Hashtag I love Jaden Gomez. This guy is my new hero. The way that he just sent it down that hill, slammed into the third rut, made a move, looking like two trailer park girls going around the outside of Payson Johnson, making that pass stick. Just an absolute sender right here. Might get some dualies across the finish, and he's going to keep the position as it stands right now, trying to work his way back. Look at them, about to split B-Lars. B-Lars about to fall down the middle. Oh, finally.
Tough block. Got him. He was trying to square Johnson back off, but this time Johnson makes that pass stick. He's up into 7th now and going after B-Lars up ahead of him. What a fight between those two. That was crazy to see how that shaped up. So now can Johnson make the pass on Larson to get into 6th? And actually, Lang went down. So Lang is only a few, maybe 6 seconds ahead of this group. And that's the difference right there in terms of the points perspective. Johnson might even get to Lang in this moto amazingly and gain points in the title fight. Never would I have thought that. And down goes B-Lars. Through goes Payson Johnson. He's all the way up to 6th. He's done a great job to even get to this point in the first place because the first half of the race was not going in his favor whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, up to 6 now, minimizing the points loss as best as he can. 7 seconds up to Tyler Lang in 5th ahead of him, but with 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes plus 2 laps to go. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it happen. The only good thing is he does have a lot of clear air now. It looks like the lappers are kind of thin and there's not too much to deal with. He's just been battling through some people, so he can really focus on and try to just hit some hot laps, which is his favorite thing to do in the whole wide world. And you'll see him going down maybe with just a little bit more speed down some of these downhills, being able to flow exactly into the ruts as he wants. And I don't know, though. Oh, my God. I heard he was doubling this. I don't know if he was doubling
all the way across,
all the way over.
I thought he was doubling down the downhill or something crazy like that. At least that's what people were saying. I thought.
If you're talking to Payson Johnson, tell him to do something cool, because we're trying to see something crazy. Someone said he's doubling after the downhill. So
after the downhill,
I don't know. There's nothing here.
I guess it could be that.
That's what I mean. The way that he wheelied out of that rut.
Yeah, maybe.
He's kind of crazy, though.
We'll get back to that in a minute. Here's T. Lang now in 5th, Bodie Parker in 4th, and then Seth Shirley is starting to reel in Colby Eaglin for 2nd place. So we'll get back there in just a minute. But, yeah, Eaglin, who was once leading this thing and maybe even looked like it was gone and in his favor for the Moto win, is slipping back into a fight for 2nd here. Shirley's trying to charge through. Shirley has... I don't know, man. I know he's had some good rides. Oh, and as I say that, he goes down. I'm so sorry, Seth. Why did I start talking about you?
What was that?
Oh, my goodness. So Parker's going to close up. Shirley's going to get going still in 3rd, but there goes that battle. Woo! We got a battle going on behind Payson right now. We got Bryce Whelan and Adam Holm going at it. Former world champion Adam Holm against Bryce Whelan, 250 East champion 2016, 15, somewhere around there.
All of them.
Been a minute since he's won a title, but he's up here battling Adam Holm, and they are pushing up to Payson Johnson once again.
I mean, he's going to have some pressure now, though. He had clear air for a little bit there, and then now that he's got some pressure, big mistake out of Bryce Whelan, who goes down there. That's going to allow, our Lord and Savior Jaden Gomez back in, and Brandon Larson still chasing back there as well. But Jaden Gomez trying to work his way back up to Adam Holm, and Adam Holm chasing down PJ, Payson Johnson. So we'll see if any of these battles get close. The kind of battles out on the track just a little bit wide open here. Let's watch Payson Johnson, see if he does something cool. My leg fell asleep and it's tingling really bad, so I am struggling right now. I don't know what's going on. Also, I love when you get commentators curse and not me.
I know.
Makes me feel
it fell on my lap this time.
Makes me feel so much better.
All right, let's see. He comes out of this corner, tries to get on the gas, and yeah, not going for it. But I guess that
everyone
must be
in chat's
right?
saying you can do it. Saying you can do both. You can jump to the lip, which probably is lame, because you have such a steep thing, or you can double that goalie. He said.
Double that goalie.
I'll double your goalie.
All right. Here's T-Lang, though. He is caught up to T-Lang for P5 now. It's only a couple seconds between the two of them. Probably our closest fight on track, at least in terms of the top 10 perspective. We're past the 30-minute mark, and the two-lap board is now out. Castellaneta, Colby Eaglin, Seth Shirley, Bodie Parker, T-Lang, 52 seconds behind our race leader, and then Payson Johnson right behind him as they continue to fight out as many points as they possibly can. Oh, my gosh, Lang almost yarded going through that section, bouncing his way through here, and then Johnson. Look at how deep some of these ruts and bumps are getting on this track, man. All over the place. There's some huge ones starting to develop, and Johnson hit a couple right there. Lang almost went down on one, and you can see where these lines are, man. They are all over the place.
Yeah, and that onboard right there shows just how little.
Is that Bodie Parker?
That is Bodie Parker.
No,
it was Red Bull.
Parker's
same bike.
30 seconds up the track. My apologies.
Yeah, Bodie said, dude, don't put me
right
in the
Seth
same class as Payson Johnson. I'm that guy. I'm way up here. Don't worry about me back there. I get good starts. Payson Johnson, working his way up. I was going to say that left-hander into the sand rollers is crazy. There's like barely any lip up there, and that's always been kind of the thing as Payson Johnson almost goes down, but he is an animal. And he is able to keep it on two wheels. Look at how bumpy and rutted that inside is, giving everything this 450 has to get that triple up. Then he's able to scrub. Then he's able to seat balance, getting it clean. Going to try to double. He's not going all the way to the inside to that second rut, though. Going to launch on down the hill. Oh, my God. And he makes a pass right there as Brandon Larson, I think that was, or Adam Holm, exit stage left, going by another
It's actually
lapper. T-Lang, you suck. Kidding.
Got him, dude.
I'm kidding. I try to only say that about my friends.
Absolutely roasted him. All right, back to our race leader, Braden Castellaneta, on the final lap through the Millville sand. Whoops, he goes. 10-second advantage on Colby Eaglin. He's got time in hand to try to coast this thing in. It's a question I always ask you, Awood. 10 seconds. It's about the time of a fall-off crash. If you're Castellaneta, do you stay on it? Do you stay trying to do what you have been doing for the past 30 minutes, basically? Or do you start trying to back it down now and coast this win home, just manage it with that 10-second lead?
I think you go and ride comfortable like 90%, right? If he's been riding 100, you pull it back a little bit. You just maybe, if there's a sketchy rut, sometimes you're like, oh, dude, this inside right, I'm struggling to get it. Okay, I slowed down, I didn't get it, I'm going to go to the middle. Like that could be something that he just did right there. You don't want to slow it down too much because you start getting off rhythm the way that you're riding through braking bumps. Your suspension's working. Doesn't really work the same. So you're not going to go balls to the wall, but you're not going to slow down and give him too much. Yeah, you maybe want to extend it just a little bit more, but you got to ride this thing home safe, keep it smooth, and don't throw off your rhythm and your flow that you've had too much this race. And I think he's doing exactly that. We're seeing him not really push too much, avoiding the lappers, focusing. And he's having a great ride here, man. And, dude, great start. Able to hold on, kept close to Eaglin. And right now, he's going to take this thing home, Kellen.
This is an awesome performance from the Phil Ski and Snowboard Honda, number 22, Braden Castellaneta. Able to get a couple Supercross wins this year, but this is a breakthrough ride in outdoors. Here it is, folks. Your Moto 1 winner here at Spring Creek. It's the number 22 of Braden Castellaneta as he takes the dub here at Millville. And that'll set him up nicely in Moto 2. Oh, Eaglin went down. Shirley's jumped up to P2. Parker is third in front of Eaglin here on the final lap. So Eaglin warmed up his arm and threw it away somewhere here on the final lap. It is Seth Shirley going to pick up P2 in the Moto. Parker gets a massive P3 result. He is pumped as he backflips over the line, lands it nicely, and Eaglin's got to be so Daytona disappointed in himself right now as he ends up in P4 in the Moto. Johnson looks like he'll end up in 5th place.
What a throwback right there. There's going to be So many confused people in chat wondering about why you just said that.
I think it's a 2013 Daytona. Go download that and see what it's called.
13 through 15, somewhere in there. It was
well, it was a JLV track, so it couldn't be 14 or later. It has to be 12 or 13. I think it was 13.
Damn, we're old, bro.
Dude.
That's funny. I still got that track downloaded in my folder. Man, yeah, JLV. What a legend. Look at these guys. Bryce Whelan taking home P10 if he holds on to it. Looks like he's going to be able to. He's got time if he don't go down. Jake Spiess pushing. Is that a position right behind him? Anthony Piccioni and Squidbro. Jeremy Schiabro, Squidbro, what are you doing, baby?
Oh, no. Who's that down? No, that was not a position.
Jake Spiess, low-key lit kid. FXR gear is pretty cool.
Good stuff.
Anthony Piccioni, Squiddy's wearing the same stuff. Ethan Parks, SYS, shout out, best team in the pits.
Nice.
Doing it for Deegan. Jeff Cooper on the Yogi Machine. Red Bull gives you wings these days because it can't just give you regular wings. That's illegal.
Yep, that's
Brandon Cocraft taking home P17. Joseph Pilsner, P18. Ooh, that was a pretty cool little flip. Noah Bindis giving them the business out there in 19th place. Going to take it home on the Temecula Honda, and Devin Davis on the DX3 Kawasaki taking home the very last point, and Jacob Hubbard.
Oh, greased almost.
You can't do that, dude.
Caleb Hall, can't do that, dude. Austin Schaefer, Lehman, couple other guys. These guys did not finish.
Whoa, what a kit that is.
That one?
Yeah, just not even gold, just full yellow wheels. Just is that MSR gear? Oh my God,
dude,
it
what
is.
a throwback. Oh my gosh.
Who is this
we
man?
Have an M2R helmet out here?
On the Moo Moo bike. Looking like some boo boo.
Let me see if I have the 2013 Daytona Supercross track. Let's see. I don't know how long
You can just type it.
Well, let's see. 2013. Yep, here it is. 2013. So if I remember the story right, JLV released 2013 Daytona Supercross, and there was like either something wrong with like the timing gate files or something that like made it so that people were cutting massive time off the track and they were getting ridiculous lap times, and qualifying was up for quite a while. So like right before the race, he was like, oh shoot, I gotta fix this, and released Daytona Disappointment, and we raced that in 2013. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, there's something going on. I feel like that would be a fun little thing to do. I mean, at least people know of the name, but I don't remember the full story. That would be a fun thing to go back to the forums, check out, and see exactly, refresh your memory on exactly what happened, because that was a weird, silly day. And it's funny because guys like us have every single track ever made pretty much in their game, and just scrolling through and seeing every perfectly named Supercross series from 2009 on, and then you just have 2013 Daytona Disappointment right in the middle is pretty awesome. So just a fun little history lesson for the guys like you, or
Critters.
Guys.
Critter in chat saying these guys out here throwing whips like Patrick Evans. Little known fact, because I feel like we're talking about old school shit right now. Patrick Evans, former MX Simulator ripper, used to qualify P1 like every week in 2013 Supercross and then not make main events, but was very fast.
Was he on the team with
Whip Style and Motorsport? He was with Brina. And Shipley and all those guys.
In my head, I was thinking, that makes sense now. I was thinking Jordan Vanderlee.
No, that
like
was
the Suzuki, but that's no.
Jordan Vanderlee was the new Motorsport team that formed
later
after.
On. Okay,
because Whip Style was like Motorsport Honda in 2012, and then became Whip Style again.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
I do remember all that jazz. Yeah, and freaking Brina on a KTM in 2013 ruined my life. Just fighting to the death out there. For podiums, she was a super fast that year. Jordan Vanderlee too, by the way. There's got to be a clip or a photo somewhere or a GIF. His pass at Lakewood, probably top 3 MX Sim passes ever, where he launched into like the stew section, the downhill, just jumping over people's heads.
I remember that.
That's like ingrained in my memory, and that's the only reason
Brina,
I
didn't he?
know his name.
Was it Brina or was it Tyson? Or it was a big name.
It was something big where he was like, because Vanderlee was always up there ripping in the top 3, top 5, and just sending it over someone's head, then ripping down that section was just that's forever ingrained in my head as one of the best passes in sim history. So
Good stuff.
you guys gotta do better than that.
Throwing it back.
Endo Freak Dog 20 on
Also,
top.
Motohead's Garage wanted to know, can they make a tire choice so it'll affect handling? No, but there are quite a few settings you can change that drastically affects handling with your suspension settings and damping and arcs of the suspension and rebound and all kinds of stuff that you can do. So you don't change tire choice, but little tiny tweaks on your suspension can make a huge difference in this game.
Yeah, a little different too than say maybe some people play MX bikes, or you have something, you're playing MX versus ATV where there's tuning or whatever and you don't really see it. You're like, oh, more handling, less. MX bikes, you can see like what your updated sag is, right? And all these real life settings to try to get to what you're doing. It is almost a little trickier because you can't see that, but you do have all the suspension settings, and there are suspension gurus that would make setups in sim that would work well because they just know suspension settings in real life. You can change your basically what would be like your steering stabilizer, making it harder to move, harder to lean over, what you could do. There's so many fine tuning that these guys can do. And you'll see someone like Colby Eaglin or Pablo Vial just absolutely whipping it and throwing it over. They're able to lean and turn the bike faster than someone like Payson Johnson can, or Alexis Leclerc. Their setups are completely different. Just like, Jet Lawrence has kind of been exposed for running a super tight like steering stem and having his bike be really hard to turn the bars. That's basically what people do in sim as well. They have tighter and looser setups. I was always loose and sketchy, and get called out on that kind of a lot, but it worked for me until it didn't. And some of these guys run very, very stiff things and they can't lean over that far, but it works for them.
Han Soriano wanted to know who's MX Sims winning his team, and for a while it was Barry Honda, which Puma just mentioned in chat, which was a team I used to be associated with. Love that team.
Barry Fly.
I think it changed though. I think another team got it. I can't remember if it was Panini or something like that in the late 2010s, early 2020s. That
Panini hasn't been around that long though.
Dude, they won a lot though. In like 2018, 19, 20, they won like everything.
They've been around that long. I feel like they're like a 2-year-old team. I mean, it's got to be like Phil. Maybe, dude, if Leclerc counts as team easy.
Whole shot pick, real quick.
Ooh, I'm thinking it's not going to be B-Lars. You know who it's going to be?
Well, it's 250 class, so you got to pick somebody.
It could never be.
250
it could
class.
never be B-Lars. Logan Leitzel coming back. Redemption story.
Bold strat, my friend. Bold strat indeed. Let's see if he gets it done this time. I don't know, but let's find out. I'm going to go randomly. Race Cobble gets a whole shot. Here we go. 250 Moto 2 at Millville is underway. Who's going to get into the corner first? It's a land rush. Someone already ducking to the inside. Nerona's going to get there up alongside the Panini bikes. Couple guys pushed wide. Another good start for Seth Carr. Does he get away with the lead? It seems like he might. And it's Seth Carr with the Design Lab Co. whole shot. 2 for 2 tonight. Is he going to lead every lap? That's another question in and of itself. Looks like Leitzel's up in the mix, though. He is in about 11th. Through the first split, 13th now, 14th actually, dropped some positions. Oh, he must have gone down. He's dropping down the order quickly outside of the top 20 already. Trying to look at where the 25 machine is. Matherly is in 4th through the whoops on the first lap. Here he is behind Vanderkoy into the inside, trying to move into 3rd. He might get it, and this is huge if he can go with Seth Carr this moto.
This is what the boys want to see. Cade Matherly starting up front. Does he have anything for Seth Carr? Honestly, I don't know. I don't think so. But we're going to have to see. That's what he's going to do. He's going to try to prove us wrong. Surrounded by Yamaha riders all through the field as they are tossing it on the catapult there. But Cade, man, great start. And Logan Leitzel, not what he wanted to do. He made up some points in that first moto as Cade makes a pass down the hill. But now he's going to fight again. Cade, though, very clear air here. And he's got to get onto the rear wheel of Seth Carr as quick as possible. I also wanted to call Seth Carr for the whole shot, but it felt like that was cheesy. So I feel like I still get a half a point because you
thought about it but didn't tell anybody?
Like, it was going to happen.
Okay, fair enough. Well, look, this is what we asked for. Obviously, it would be nicer to have Leitzel up here as well, but with Seth Carr dominating the first moto to the tune of 30, 40-odd seconds in the end, it's nice to have another title guy up here, and Cade Matherly has shown up in Moto 2. He gets a good start. Now we get to see pace-wise if he can keep tabs on Seth Carr. And this gives us a really good indication as well, because look, Carr in the first moto, he did have a couple good guys up there, but it took a minute for Parlo to get into second to start running good lap times. And by the time he was there, Carr was gone. What's he going to react like if he's got pressure on him from the start of this one?
I don't think it makes a difference.
Okay.
Sadly, which not good news for Cade, but I think Carr is as far up front as he needs to be. All he needs to be is in front of the other guys. Doesn't matter if they're 1, 2, 3 seconds back off the start. He's in first right now. He's going to throw down the lap times. Seth Carr ran your fastest lap time of the race pretty much nonstop. The only one who got close was Logan Leitzel with a last lap full send. Other than that, Carr is the class of the field as far as the speed that he has on the track right now, and I just don't think Cade has enough to hold on. Cade must have gone down there and made a big mistake.
Yeah, big mistake.
Tip over or something, because he's about twice as far back as he was before, and he's seeing that, getting inch closer to all the guys coming up behind him. He's got to be hurting a little bit. If he can't make something happen soon, I think this is almost as much of a nail in the coffin as starting 20th place was for him.
Yeah. He's got Ben Nerona, Alec Horn, Maverick Snyder. They're all right behind him, 3, 4, 5. Question in chat is, why is Carter in 250s? He's actually at Jacob Hubbard's house this week. And so he went to the Redbud National with Hubbard. They're both in Michigan right now. So they just decided to split classes. Looks like Carter's racing a 250, Hubbard's racing a 450. They're doing so on the same computer, I would assume. I mean, maybe they're on different computers and still did different classes. I don't really know, but I assume that's why they're splitting classes. At least that makes the most sense to me. Maverick Snyder is going to get by Alec Horn into third. Nerona now fourth. Horn back to fifth, maybe even worse because he's got a terrible run up the uphill. And Jackson Vick is going to scoot by into the fifth position. Horn back to sixth. Lucas Brune now seventh. Might even get by Horn coming down the hill. He's going to swing to the outside there on the number 43 TSCZ Productions machine. Tries to shut the door. Going to go middle and will indeed make that pass stick. So good move right there. By the way, I want to just go back and talk about him. Logan Leitzel had crawled all the way back up to 13th and was knocking on the door for 12th. Then he crashed twice, and now he's all the way back here in 27th place. So he was in a position to maybe do a little bit more damage than we thought based on that first turn crash or first lap crash, whichever it was. Now he's in a terrible position again, and it's just a repeat of Moto number 1. He's got to crawl all the way through the field.
Yeah, I mean, he fought his way back up. Honestly, where he's at now, I think there could still be a third place in his future with the way that these guys are just head and shoulders above the rest of the field as far as what we've seen so far. But you'll watch, if we stay on board with Logan Leitzel, you'll see the other guys are doing. He's trying to go for his line. Okay, now there's a rider in the second rut that's going to cross over, almost get into him. Look at that. He's got to slow down on the inside. Almost loses a position right there because he got slowed down. So he's not being able to ride to his full potential here. He's trying to make passes. Look at that. Doubles up front, tries to get back by this rider, but he gets crossed over and slowed down. Now he's trying to make a move around the outside, makes a small mistake, almost gets passed back again, is going to be able to make it stick, but this is just what happens every single section on the track when you're back in 20th, 30th place and trying to work your way forward. Every single section, every single corner is a dogfight. And any one of those things could come up to be a small mistake for yourself or another rider accidentally getting into you, or you getting into the back of them and going down and then ending up back in 30th place. So Logan Leitzel needs things to go his way for the next 5 to 6 laps just to have any chance of getting back up there, because these guys are all over the place and he's trying to work his way through the field.
Yeah, doing what he can just to limit the damage. Once again is Logan Leitzel, as he's still not up into the points. He's got a little ways to go to get into those positions, which are all occupied by this entire group of riders. We're going to funnel through here all the way up to the lead. This man, Seth Carr, dominates the first moto, leaves with a provisional 10-point lead in the championship, looking at another 3 points gained over Cade Matherly. This one pulls it out to 13. And, man, like I said, this has just been his MO of late. Good starts, get the gap early, and pull away. He did the same thing in the second RFGP moto at Majora earlier this week, where didn't go his way in the first moto. Bad start, crashed early, had to charge all the way through the field, only got to third. Second moto, got into the lead early and put a hurtin' on the field, almost a minute victory over everybody else. Didn't win him the Grand Prix, but you could tell he was fired up and pissed off and wanted to win that by as much as he possibly could. And honestly, it seems like he's brought that same energy through here tonight at Spring Creek. He's got the championship lead, but he still looks like he's riding like a man that is chasing in this championship.
Yeah, and I mean, when you're at the level that Seth Carr is at, never been there, but I can imagine when you're at this level, this speed honestly kind of comes easily, and you want to go out and show everyone what you can do week in and week out. It's not really that he's crazy pushing, you know. We don't see him going down a lot, making these huge mistakes because he's riding over his head. His speed is just that much higher that this is where he goes and rides. Like when Jet Lawrence and Chase Sextons are 30 seconds ahead of the field, they're not pushing harder, they're just better and faster. And that's where Seth Carr is, where this is his level and no one else is really on it. You know, the other guys, Cade and Leitzel, can be at certain times, but not consistently for 35 minutes. And Seth Carr, partnered with his good starts, he's just going to run away from these guys, and he's not going to lay up and just slow down and win by 5-10 seconds. He's going to run his A pace and whatever is comfortable for him. And right now it's good enough to win by 20 to 30 seconds almost every time he gets a good start.
Yeah, I mean, he just continues to click off ridiculously good lap times. Last time by 2:07.546. However, Cade Matherly ran his personal best lap of the day, 2:07.734. In the first moto, he did not go sub 2:09, so he's picked up the pace himself. He is doing everything he possibly can to keep Carr close. And look, Carr late in that moto, when the track was at its worst, that's when he started making a lot of mistakes. He had some bad crashes, so don't count out the fact that if Matherly at least keeps him honest in this moto, he maybe steals a late moto victory. It won't be for the overall. Carr with a 1-2 would still beat a 3-1 out of Matherly, but Matherly is keeping him as close as he possibly can, and we've seen Matherly have these good late race performances before.
You know what? You're exactly right, Kellen. Looks like he just matched a 2:07.7 again.
2:07.4 though for Carr up front, just reset fastest lap of the race again.
So Cade runs a 2:07.7, only loses 0.3 that whole, dude, fighting for over 2 minutes, and you're running your fastest pace and you just lose 0.3 is absolutely crazy, and that's something that can be heartbreaking. But he knows he's just got to keep putting that in. If you did it 2 laps in a row, why can't you do it 6, 7, 8? Just keep hitting your marks as the track breaks down. Follow it and make the adaptations that you need. And he's going to keep this gap on Carr, and Carr makes a small mistake. I do think that maybe, I thought Carr was going to run away with it. I do think that this is a different confidence that Cade has. If Cade started 20th again, yeah, he can work his way back up to second, but he's never going to be close enough to even have to be able to challenge. Cade at least now has the confidence, can see that time under 10 seconds. That's how you know, keep it close. He's a fall off away. He's one mistake from me being on his rear wheel. Anything can happen. And yeah, this race is far from over. I thought Carr was pulling away a little bit more than he is. But Cade is absolutely riding great right now. Losing a little bit of time as we see that pit board at the bottom left. He's losing time, but keep it under 10 seconds and he'll be a happy camper.
Well, and another thing too is that they're gaining on basically the rest of the pack as well. They're starting to establish a gap over everybody else. Looks like it's almost, it actually is, it's over 10 seconds back to Maverick Snyder in P3. So as they continue to do that and get that big gap established, they can continue to just focus on each other. They're not worried about anybody else on the track but who's in front of them, or in Seth Carr's case, who's behind him. Obviously he's focused forward trying to get that, but yeah, this is a good performance so far by Matherly, and we'll see if it turns into a battle. I do see you guys going back and forth about the dyno situation. Yes, everybody is on a 2018 KTM 250 SXF dyno. It is the official dyno model that was put into the game by JLV back then.
One, right? Is that the newest one? Or
that's still the newest one, yeah, because it's the last time that I think it's the last time that a media company did public dyno tests with every model. They've done some with other models since then, but not a complete package. So JLV has basically stated, I don't want to add new dynos to the game until I can get every single one of them and add them at the same time. Yeah. So that's why we don't have newer dynos. But yes, literally I can see it on my screen. Every single person's riding the 2018 250 SXF. And yes, while the power delivery is the same, you can change your gearing settings quite a bit. So that also changes how much power you get, you know, in terms of what the gear ratios are, how fast you're going from second to third to fourth, and so on and so forth. And then, like I said, those suspension changes make a dramatic difference with adjusting rebound, adjusting damping, adjusting all this kind of different stuff, spring rate, all that different stuff that can affect how the bike feels going over these bumps. So no, honestly, I would argue no one in this class right now is on the exact same setup. Everybody's on something a little bit different, you know, a click here or there, another setting here or there, because a lot of these settings are 0 to 100, and you can pick any digit in the middle of that. And so some guys will do 74 and 77 and 81 and 62 and stuff like that just for one setting to change things up and how the bike feels on the track.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, so there is pretty much, I would say there's a good chunk of people on almost the exact same setup, just because I've had past champions. I've had Braden Carter's suspension and Jack Haley and these guys, and for the last 5-6 years, I've always ran a top champions suspension setup in my game. And then I go 2 years later and I'm like, hey, give me a new setup. And I get it, and it's like the first 4 numbers are the same, and the 5th one is like 3 or 4 off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? Like, that's it? You thought in 4 years all you could figure out was to add freaking, you know, 0.2 millimeters of oil to the fork or something? But it does change it a little bit, and then these guys are changing the way that they ride and the way the tracks are being built. So, and then there are things that change drastically, but there is pretty much, some people are way out in left field, and then there is almost a consensus, I would say, standardized setting where things will be maybe 5 to 10 points off, because we've been playing this game for so long that, you know, people realize, okay, here's a pretty good outdoor setup. Here's a pretty good start. But yeah, you're almost not going to have, you know, your clickers will be off by 1, 2, 3, and there's 15 to 20 different suspension settings in the game that you can actually change. So yeah, no, not many people have the exact same setup, but some of them are actually pretty close. Some of them are way out in left field, and I'm like, how the hell are you even riding this?
Exactly, yeah.
Like, Payson Johnson is crazy.
Well, I mean, like, even gearing, some people, like, remember Leclerc forever would run, like, 2 -2 or 1 -2 gearing so that it was
super
dramatic. It was like you would just lug the bike everywhere. But then on the flip side, I always set up my 450s to feel more like a 250. So I do -2 to -2, +2 gearing so that it would run through the gears quicker. Like, I'd get to 5th gear faster than everybody else, but then I could shift and have a little bit more dynamic range with the throttle. So
yeah.
it's a mixed bag throughout the field, and it's one of those things that it would be really cool if we had all the information available, like we could see everyone's setups in the game, but then also everyone likes to keep their stuff a little bit secretive sometimes and maybe keep their setups a little bit dialed to themselves.
Yeah, I honestly think that there would be some people, I bet you we could get Braden Carter's permission, because I could just give it to you. But I get some permission. I bet you there's a couple, maybe top 5 or 10 riders that wouldn't really care and would probably share you the full thing. And maybe that would be a fun thing to compare and be like, this is what he's running, this is what he's running, and here's their stability, and maybe, you know, explain for 5-10 minutes, walk through their setups, or even just a video, you know, and kind of tell what each setting does and what's different about it. And then as people watch those riders on the track, maybe they can notice that. I bet you there's some people that would be down for that. Yeah, I always ran -2.1 in Supercross on the 450, and then -2.0 I eventually went to. I think that's what Tyson ran, and it just made it a little bit longer. I wasn't shifting as much, but I never really went all the way down in the first gear because my stuff was so short. Outdoors, I was like -1.0 or -1. I think just different things, which equates to, those numbers might not mean a lot to you if you don't play the game, but in the game settings, you can see that that's like a 1350 or a 1348 or whatever. Those equate to a real setting of sprocket and countershaft sprocket that you can relate to in real life if you have a 450 or 250 and you go, damn, that's really long or really short gearing.
Yeah. So, and just to, like, we'll round this out a little bit here. If you go into bike setup and go into suspension and gearing, you have fork high speed, low speed compression damping, high speed rebound damping, and low speed spring rate, preload, oil level. Then the same thing for shock all the way through. Countershaft sprocket and rear sprocket, you can change that. And then this all has to do with how your rider dampening feels with, like, when you move forward and back, how quickly it moves and how much it kind of plushes back to the rear fender and stuff like that. And then you can adjust your rider mass distribution as well. And then another big setup adjustment you can make is in your advanced stability setup. You can change all of this up, and it completely changes how the rider actually feels, how quickly you can turn in, how quickly you can pull out of turns, how big your whips can be, all that kind of different stuff. Like, there's a lot of complexities to it. So Certainly an interesting topic to go over, but let's get back to the racing. Didn't want to go too deep into that.
That's what happens when Seth Carr is just winning.
I mean, Carr's dominating this, and honestly, not a lot's going on. Lucas Brune did just pass into third. He got around Maverick Snyder when Snyder crashed. That's kind of the biggest change so far that I've seen inside of the top 5. I was trying to monitor timing and scoring, but Brune up to the third now, Ben Nerona fourth, and Emmanuel Cepeda fifth. So Lucas Brune was fourth in the first moto. He's now third. He's in a position for sure to end up on the podium overall because Logan Leitzel is still struggling down in the field. He's in 22nd for one of our fastest riders in the first moto. Look, he's in 22nd place. He just did a 2:08.6. He's faster than everybody else but Seth Carr on the track, but he's in 22nd. So it's just another situation, bad start, bad situation for Logan Leitzel.
And we know that he can run these lap times as the track keeps getting rougher, though. But it's putting himself in a bad spot, and we've seen it. What P is he in right now? Sorry.
22nd.
22nd. So it's like you can work your way up, but I talked about it earlier in the race. There's so much. Ooh, Emmanuel Cepeda goes down, over whips and cases that jump. Maverick Snyder is going to get by him. When you're back there, you just allow yourself to be in the chaos and carnage that you can't control. You know what Seth Carr's been doing out front by getting hole shots is letting him control everything. There's not one factor until you get into lappers 15, 20 minutes into the race that he cannot control. And that's where Logan Leitzel is getting eaten up. He was able to work his way back through the field earlier, run the fastest lap of the race on the last lap. And Logan Leitzel, though, trying to do that today, but now he's not even in points, and we're 18 minutes into this moto. That's how important a start is. It's not start cross, but you better get yourself at least in the top 10.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing Cade and Carr just pull away with this thing.
I mean, he's going to be hard-pressed to think about even getting top 10 in this moto, much less even half-decent points. Going to miss the podium overall. It's certainly going to be Brune's case if it stays this way. This is a pretty darn good fight, Brune, for fourth, though. Nerona is slipping back to Snyder, and they're getting caught by Jack Gatlin as well. And then not too far behind them in the background is the number 9 of Braden Carter jumping back down to a 250. So we got 3, 4, 5, 6 on the, or sorry, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the track. Pretty much nose to tail here through the switchbacks coming out of the sand. Nerona's got the position advantage right now, but I almost think Snyder might have the raw speed advantage. That's not going to help, though. A little bit nose high on that jump. Here comes Gatlin right up on his heels, trying to jump to the top of the hill. Not able to get by him. That allows Nerona a little bit of a gap, and it allows Carter as well to inch up from behind from P7.
Yeah, Carter trying to work his way up after a terrible first moto. At least Maverick Snyder... or at least he's working his way through the field. Maverick Snyder, though, trying to get the drive up the hill. These 250s going up this hill are so slow compared to as Snyder's been battling with Nerona for pretty much all 20 minutes of the race that have elapsed so far. Unable to make the pass yet, but these guys just can't get away from each other. Sometimes you end up in a race and you're next to someone for every single second of the race, and sometimes it happens both motos week after week all year, and you're just evenly matched up. But for this round, for sure, Maverick Snyder and Nerona are all over each other trying to make something happen, and it just seems like they're too evenly matched, and no one's going to really be able to separate themselves right now.
For real, I mean,
poor guys.
They're just hanging out together and having a great fight, though. Unfortunately for them, it was a fight for quite a while for third until Lucas Brune kind of charged through them and has gapped them. He's now 13 seconds ahead of this battle. So while they continue to deal with each other, it slipped to a battle for fourth. Nerona still got it. Snyder's right there. Gatlin. And then Carter now has Cepeda getting back on his rear fender. So Emmanuel Cepeda just ran a nice 2:11.070, fastest of this group, to close that gap back down a little bit more. And this little bit of a yo-yo all throughout this battle continues to make it even that much better. And as we get down into the nitty-gritty of this race in the final 10 minutes plus 2 laps of it, this is where it's going to make or break it for these guys late in this race to try to get some good points, some good overall results. Carter, for example, here on the 9 didn't even score points in the first moto. Now he's trying to knock on the door for a potential top 5 result. Some of these other guys, like, they're still fighting for some good points overall on the day when, Nerona was 19th in the first moto. I can't even find Maverick Snyder. I don't think Snyder finished in the points either. So, yeah, Snyder was 23rd. These are all guys that were basically 19th through 24th. And look at Carter side by side. Oh, Jack Gatlin absolutely plows the outside pole right there. I don't know why I can't switch to him.
What's that?
Or was it not? Oh, it was Jack Gatlin.
Poor guy running my number 29. Just absolutely eats it, says, hey, Paul, what up? Let me give you a little headbutt real quick. Ooh, maybe got the position back there if that's a down rider.
Yeah, Carter went
Carter
down.
goes right back down after he's probably flustered after seeing Gatlin absolutely kill himself right in front of him.
Knowing Carter, I feel like that happened, and he was just probably laughing. He's probably in there going,
yeah, like, what the hell? This car just is in front of me. And then wads up by himself. Braden Carter, though, we talked about he's running up here. He was in 5th, and you're like, all these guys getting good points. Braden Carter's the only person who doesn't need them. He hasn't raced in this class in years. Right now, though, cruising around in 8th place as he lost spots to Jack Gatlin, Ben Nerona, and Emmanuel Cepeda, but he's going to get Cepeda right there as he's stuck in some bales.
Tough break.
Not sure what he's doing over there. Kind of a weird spot to crash, but hey. Hey, I can't even get around the track without falling, going like 60% speed. So shout out to all you guys still surviving, thriving, and scoring points for sure.
Yep, good stuff in the second moto. We'll catch you later, Motohead. He is out of here.
Motohead.
Good chatting with him tonight. Good chatting with everyone. Chats have been lively here, both on Twitch and the tubes. So appreciate you guys. Want to give an update on the lead quickly here because Matherly did cut down to 8 seconds to Seth Carr and then crashed last time by did a 2:16.1. We're back out to 14.8 seconds. And just when I thought Matherly was starting to do that little late race surge that he does and perhaps Carr would have a big moment or crash that would cause some good action at the front, we are back out to a non-factor for the race lead. We need something out of Carr late here for things to heat up because I think unless he crashes, I don't think Matherly's going to get to him on raw pace anymore.
Yeah, you said this word earlier, and it made me laugh. Reminiscent of Blake Baggett and these days Danger Boy Deegan. You said that someone was broken. Do you think Seth Carr broke Cade Matherly with this moto? Having him be so close.
He doesn't have a famous father, so I think that probably helps. But we'll see. Definitely really crushed their souls in the first moto. And again, look, I mean, is he walking away in Moto 2? No, but like you said at the beginning of this is all he needs. He doesn't need to win by 45, 50 seconds every time. He just needs to go 1-1 and continue pulling points on the field because even if he wins by 50 seconds, still 3 points at the end of the day. So 17-second lead right now, plenty enough to get it done and walk out of here with a 1-1 performance and a bigger championship lead than he did coming in.
Yeah, I think I threw out a number there early too, and it might end up being close. I was like, he's going to start here and still finish 25 seconds ahead. So, yeah, you can start. If they start in 20th, 30th place, they're going to end up in second either way, but who cares if it's 50 seconds or a minute or 20, 25 seconds? A win is a win. The 3 points you get per moto is all he needs, and he's just slowly going to pull this thing away. Seth Carr right now has found his consistency in this outdoor season. He's had his speed. He's found his consistency. Ooh. And as I say that, making a small mistake, but just trying to make it a little bit fun for the fans here who are watching our stream. But honestly, I think it's pretty much, I'm going to call the championship over.
Wow, 13 points after this moto. The championship is over. I still got 8 motos left to go after this too.
He seems like the mark of consistency lately. Yeah, the other guys have been. Maybe, his bad moto was third, but over the last 2 or 3 rounds, I haven't seen any big slip-ups from Seth Carr, and I think, I don't know, it could come back to bite me. I'm pulling the trigger, early lock, Seth Carr facing Johnson.
All right, fair enough.
He looks so good.
He does look so good.
The last couple weeks.
He's been in his peak form of late in this RaceFactoryGaming National Championship, and I'll tell you what, man, the chat, they will keep receipts if Matherly wins this title. Matherly's going to put up a YouTube video for sure, just all lowercase letters. Can't even say it. All lowercase letters that just says, they doubted me, suck it, or something like that.
Does he make like race vlogs or things? Or
You've never seen his YouTube videos, bro?
No, Kate doesn't follow me on Instagram, so I'm off of him.
Oh, what ridiculous. He posts YouTube videos that are just all lowercase letters.
That's such a freaking
It literally
Gen
just says
Z
stuff like, I crush MX Simulator Souls or something. Like, he'll just post like videos like that. I can't think of a specific title, but it's very similar to the August Sanders I'm better than you at MX Simulator type of title.
True,
but Yeah.
That's awesome though. It's probably got like no punctuation, no caps, like, or just a little period at the end.
I'll just go to his YouTube channel and read his last like 5 videos. We'll pull it up. We'll
it
catch
up.
some receipts out here.
Get the receipts.
Because Matherly wants to keep it, bro. He wants to let you know that he's got it handled. Even if he's going to be 13 points down after this moto.
Tyson Johnson, if you're still around, show yourself in chat. I've got something for you.
Look, so 22,000 subs on YouTube.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Whipping myself into shape. That's his most recent video.
That's pretty good.
This is what no fall-off hacks do in MX Simulator.
Yeah,
some knee-slapping MX Simulator content.
Okay.
Don't fall, but my friends keep falling. Jumping over Wemby's head in MX Simulator. Crashing his heart in MX Simulator. Whips your mother would be proud of.
That's
a video
damn good.
too.
Are these all lowercase?
MX Simulator is easy. That was 4 months ago.
Okay, freaking. That's a Spencer Turley title if I've ever heard one.
Let's see what we got here. MX Simulator is funny. Jumping over your mom's belly in MX Simulator. We got all kinds of videos that he's been putting up on. Good stuff here, as always, from Matherly.
Still out on him. Tyson Johnson, I don't think he's here. I will be awarding Lit Kit to a Twizzy rider in the 450 class.
All right, fair enough.
Not in the 250 class, though, because it doesn't look as good without the red plate.
Sad.
All right, let's get... There's nothing happening.
Yeah, there's not much. I mean, honestly, look, I'm trying to follow live timing. We got a Jackson Vick Emmanuel Sabeda battle for 8th. Here's a battle for 4th. Maverick Snyder and Braden Carter going at it again. Otherwise, Seth Carr is starting to lap at the back of points right now. He's going to lap Logan Leitzel in a couple seconds here. But, I mean, he's gone. Look we got Seth Carr is plus 16 on Cade Matherly. Lucas Brune is 43 seconds off the lead. And 4th place is 1 minute and 5 seconds off the lead, and it's now about to be Braden Carter as he goes by Maverick Snyder. This is probably the simplest race we've seen thus far in the 250 class. I hate to call it that, but there's really not much going on. Just the reality.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, who's that? That's that looked like a teammate of our boy from the 450 class. I already forgot his name. Jaden Gomez. Yeah?
Maybe?
My Lord and Savior. I think that was his teammate. That's why my heart broke for a second. And I realized wrong class. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, this is the way it kind of ends up sometimes towards the end of the season. 16-second gap to second. Another 26 seconds, 28 seconds back to 3rd. Another 23 seconds back to 4th. Another 10 seconds. 5th and 6th place. That's our battle on the track, actually, if you want to get up in there.
That's this one
our
right
boy
here.
Schneider and...
Nah, not really.
They were 3 seconds apart. I don't know. It's the closest number.
Man. We're just not seeing battles. Jeremy Siebel just went down. Oh, we got Jackson Vick passing up Emmanuel Cepeda. Jackson Vick has been so good of late, man. He just missed the podium in the GP earlier this week. He's now 7th. First moto, let's see where he was at. First moto for Jackson Vick was 13th, so 13-7 day. Just quietly been building on a lot of good momentum of late, which is really cool to see for the 135. Could have been Kawasaki. Hashtag only have 4 sessions. He's been updating that every moto because in the first moto, it was hashtag, let's see, only have 3 sessions in Moto 1. Now it's hashtag only have 4 sessions. He's keeping it real and keeping it steady. We got Colin Holden and Tyler Show ready to have a battle for who loves Spencer Turley more. Right now it's Tyler Show. He's doing the good job. Holding down P8. Colin Holden trying to close up in P9. Then you got Seabolt 10th, Cepeda 11th, Nerona 12th, Wilczek 13th, Vanderkoy 14th, 15th for Alec Horn, 16th. Yeah, have moved. 16th for Austin Partalil. Remember, he was up in the mix early first moto.
Sorry,
and here is Logan Leitzel, P17. He's still putting in 214s, 213s. At this point, he's just trying not to get lapped because he's only about 10 seconds away from that happening. Look, here's Leitzel. And then right behind him is Schiabro going through the rollers. A little tip over right there. A couple more guys coming in. And any second now should be your race leader through the rollers in the background right there. There he is. There's the red plate holder. It's the myth, the legend of Seth Carr himself. That's how close Leitzel is, who was probably as fast as Seth Carr in the first moto to getting lapped in Moto 2.
Sad. It's pretty bad, honestly. I mean, that's how important a start is. And then if you're gonna be getting those bad starts, and Logan Leitzel, he's a veteran in this class now and in this game. It's almost like you need to have that veteran savvy racecraft to be able to get around and work your way up through the field. And I think he just didn't have that. Whether it's him trying to do too much early on and making small mistakes, or him just getting flustered, right, and then being frustrated and not able to make it happen. It's very important to get a start, and if you're gonna be putting yourself in that situation, you need to be on point and say, I'm fine with the 25th position start, and then be able to work your way up. But right now, yeah, he's done it multiple times this year, and he did it first moto and was laying down heaters. But Logan Leitzel showed us right now that he can't do it every time, and I honestly don't think anyone can, and that's why you just really can't be letting yourself end up in that position. Whether it's a crash off the start, you gotta focus up, and you've gotta really lock in and just make sure you can work your way through the field. He didn't. He had too much stuff going on early, and it's biting him, and now he's losing a crap ton of points, and he's going to pretty much be out of this championship.
Yeah, definitely. White flag is now out for our race leader as Seth Carr circulates on the final lap. It is a 12-second lead on Matherly, so a late crash here for Carr could make things a little bit more interesting, but right now looking at a 1-1 day, a 13-point lead in the championship, and we'll see what happens moving into the final round before the break at Washougal next week. After Washougal next week, we got 2 weeks off because Loretta Lynn's happens in real life, and it'll be a little bit of time. I think it's July 17th for our Washougal, and then we go all the way till August 7th or so until we race Unadilla. So going to be a little bit of time till we're racing again after Washougal, and I think at the moment Seth Carr obviously is carrying all the momentum with him into this break. Going to try to come back out at Washougal next week and really put a dampening on the rest of the field. But Cade Matherly, he does well at Washougal. That's the site of his first career win, and did that 2 years ago in 2022. So if Matherly can come out at a track that he's comfortable with next week and make things interesting, as we got guys going sideways, going down. Seth Carr's navigating some landmines here on the final lap of the race. Just got to keep it on 2 wheels, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's he's got enough gap to where he doesn't have much to worry about, just kind of cruising around, avoiding the landmines that he's been dealing with so far. The thing about Cade, yeah, I really hope that Cade can lock it in for Washougal, because that's going to be the best race of the year, some would say. The best booth of the year.
Best booth.
I was going to try to do it like a Trump voice. The best booth. There's never been a better booth.
No one does better booths than us.
I'm the best booth there's ever been. And I could beat you at golf. Cade, though, I really hope he brings it, because I would love to see some dogfight, head-to-head action between these two. But right now, the man of the hour is
Seth Carr. This is the man right here. Another 1-1 performance, and this time it's going to really pull the championship lead out in his favor. Seth Carr sweeps here at Spring Creek, 1-1 on the day, and he has a 13-point lead in the championship now. Cade Matherly did everything he could. He kept him as close as he could. One crash probably spelled his chances from winning this race at the end, but 11.3 seconds back. And then we have got, get your stopwatches out, people, because it's going to be a while. Lucas Brune is going to get 3rd overall, but he's 50 some odd seconds behind this win here.
Yeah, I mean, 50 seconds back, but man, Lucas Brune having a getting by some people. Lucas Brune, though, having a good ride, and it feels like he was invisible most of this race, but he's shown a lot of speed throughout this series so far, and having a great ride here. 3rd place right now, and pretty far off the rest of the field, but hey, who cares, because you still got 3rd, and 3rd place still comes with 20 points no matter what. So Lucas Brune takes it home with a ginormous whip. Can't bring it back, but he's celebrating. Hashtag number 10. Braden Carter, though, number 9 in
he's
your hearts.
celebrating.
Yeah, celebrating. Those bars. Kellen, get this man in the booth, and I'm not talking about commentary. About to drop an album. Braden Carter, number 9, one number better than number 10.
I mean,
coming in, tossing. Can he ride it out? And he does for best whip of the finish line so far. Let's see who's next. Maverick Snyder, pretty sure he's straight there. Leclerc, that's named that way for a reason. Tyler Showy, chasing down Jack Gatlin, number 29, who we saw run into a pole as hard as physically possible earlier. He's trying to take this Unity Trackmania Nations Forever ride. He's going to come home in 6th place. DMFR team, Tyler Show on the Spencer Turley coming home in 7th. Colin Holden, Digital Worldwide, coming home in 8th.
Yeetus McLeodus, nice whip.
And Jeremy Siebel.
Jeez, there is a Nerona,
Bartolo.
Wilczek, and Leitzel ends up 13th in this moto. Maybe
18 get dudes within 1
another
second.
Position though, if he can get some penalties. Alec Horn. Look, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I have been into music videos, so you know I got bars all day long.
Is that the one at Star West?
No.
For 7 deuce deuce.
It was a 7 deuce deuce video. Leitzel gets 11th on cuts, so P11 for the number 3 of Logan Leitzel. And actually, man, oh man, Seth Carr had 6 seconds of cuts. He only won by 4.5 seconds in the end. Poor Cade, man. If he had stayed on 2 wheels that moto, definitely would have won it because those cuts were brutal for the number 15 machine. But he does go 1-1 and wins the day. Should I pull up the music video, Awood? Do we have to see this cursed image now that I brought it up?
We're not gonna get. Wait, what one?
We do have some time to kill before the second moto here in 450s.
Right,
do we pull it up? All right. This is probably my most the certified widest moment of my life. Let's go ahead and pull her up.
I feel like I remember this now, but oh yeah, I remember this.
Oh God. But look, this is
we might not be able to run the sound.
Let's see. Does it show up as doesn't show up as a song? I'll run it.
Oh no. Okay.
This is look it. I'm on an official music video on the Xbox page. People, look at this. We'll get it up here on screen.
That is pretty tight. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool.
This is the Xbox YouTube account right here.
With 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 views.
Yeah, not too many views, but let's just watch this abomination right here.
Like my 450. You can keep on winning even if they always quitting. What you waiting for? Get to racing, time is ticking. If you wanna be the best, then you gotta live it. Be one of us, you could be one of us.
Here's my boy.
Be one of us, you could be one of us.
Yeah. Look at Brian.
Oh, it's so bad. Buttery, medium, and me, and Deuce Deuce.
I like how it goes from Kellen Brower to Brian to
it's so
Buttery to Little Medium Boy and then Deuce Deuce. Just
stand
what
up for a second, grab that Deuce Deuce jersey right
banger
there.
night lined up.
Yeah.
I am people are watching. This is how I commentate the race.
Right behind you, right there, is this 7 Deuce Juice jersey that I got from him from this shoot. There you go. And so you can put it there. You can put it here. So this is the same jersey he wore in that video shoot. This was like 2 Kellen Monster Energy Supercross 3 or something like that. So I was in a music video.
Monster Energy Supercross 3.
Good stuff. Yeah, that's an abomination for sure. In front of the camera, dude, is brutal. Brutal. That's the only time I'm in that video. And honestly, the dumbest thing about it is it was 2 days of shooting. I spent all days in Van Nuys and then another all day at Castillo. And that's the 1-2 seconds I was in that video.
2 seconds. I'm back in my home. This is where we live, boys. What up? Shout out.
What is up? All right, Moto 2 coming up. Yeah, that was Tylen in it too. Me, Tylen, and Wyndham was supposed to come. Wyndham didn't show up. I still have never met Wyndham 151. I've met his wife, never met him.
Heyo!
Well, he sent his wife to an event to cover it for him one time, but he didn't come. It was kind of interesting. But yeah, Tylen, we used to hang out with him all the time. Yellow S2K, we'd go to all these events together, a lot of fun, and met a couple people in Europe one year when we went to an event. So yeah, I got to be in a music video.
Pretty cool. I mean, I've never been, I don't know. This is the only videos I'm ever in, so sad.
We'll get you there some days.
Honestly, though, this is the pinnacle, so I don't want to be anywhere else.
Well, I mean, you've been in
This is what makes me
videos.
happy.
You've been in videos on this channel that has more than that music video has. So,
Way more. Almost
Yeah.
every single week. Every single week has way more views. So some would say I'm more famous than
you could feel better about yourself.
all of those guys. I feel so good about myself right
So
now.
good. All right, we'll make A Wood not look too bad. Welcome all 13 of you that have joined from Seth Carr's stream over to this side of the booth, basically.
Hey, we're not done yet.
We're not done.
Someone just woke up. D Nizzy said he's scared what he just came into.
Chim Cham just woke up in Australia at 1 p.m.
And the stream's not over, brother.
Excuse me?
There's still one more race.
Chim Cham, is everything okay? Just woke up at 1 p.m. unless you're in Perth, I guess, but then you'd be waking up at 11?
What's wrong with
No, 10 a.m.?
Chill, dude.
New Zealand. So even worse, New Zealand's on a different time than Australia, isn't it?
Getting attacked.
It's even 1 hour closer to us.
I just saw a post about let him live his life. I just saw a post about the time zones in Australia, and they're wild. There's like 3 on top of each other that are completely different. And I'm like, guys, that's not how it works. But
Chim Cham.
I mean, what else? What more can you expect from a bunch of Aussies?
Chim Cham said he woke up at 1 p.m. That's ridiculous. All right, give me a Design Lab Co. whole shot pick here. Who we got?
Noon yesterday. So
yeah, Seth Carr just went 1-1, and Moto 1 winner was Braden Castellaneta in the 450 class. So let's find out who wins Moto 2. Your top 10 from Moto 1, real quick, before Awood gives his pick here for the whole shot, was Braden Castellaneta, Seth Shirley, Bodie Parker, Colby Eaglin, Payson Johnson, Tyler Lang, Adam Holm, Jaden Gomez, Bryce Whelan, and Julian Ori inside of the top 10 in Moto 1. Trevor Burns, 35th.
Ooh, I think our SYS teammate is running something sexy this moto. Looks different. I do have to Design Lab Co. whole shot award, not winner, but guess is going to be
Make it quick.
Braden Castellaneta.
All right, I'm picking Hubbard.
Peter.
I am picking Hubbard for the Design Lab Co. whole shot. Here we go. Final moto of the night. The 30 car is sideways. The revs are up. We are racing once again in Spring Creek. Land Rush. Pretty good start. Shirley's getting out, dragged into the first corner. He's going to get there side by side with Noah Bendis. Bendis pushes out. Shirley's going to get the whole shot. Seth Shirley, JIBR.co. Number 2 is out front here at Spring Creek. Could this be the breakthrough night for the rookie in the 450 class? Second in Moto 1, out front in Moto 2.
I kind of think so. Seth Shirley is absolutely on fire here tonight, and after getting a great start, even better start than he had before, I think this race is his to lose. We are going to have to go through and see as we get the names scrolling across the screen and we check in with timing where everyone else is at. I see Tyler Lang in 7th, Eaglin in 9th, but I honestly think that Seth Shirley, with this great start, he has found something here. I don't know if it's the way that the track has been or if he's just got enough motos under his belt in the 450 class to feel comfortable. Can we get a whip cam here, too?
Yeah, let's get a whip cam.
Let's get a whip cam here. Let's get some...
Trileys! It faked you out. No, Payson's deep, dude. He's deep in the field.
How many D's deep?
3 D's deep. Good stuff. Seth Shirley leading up Mount Martin on the opening lap. Looks like Payson Johnson is currently in 20th place. T-Lang up in P5 early on. Good start for him. Burns 15th after a dreaded first moto for him. He's turned it around with a good start. And your Moto 1 winner, Braden Castellaneta, P7. So strong ride so far for him, but they're all chasing this man, Seth Shirley. And if there's any man that's not named Payson Johnson in this field that could put a minute on everybody else, it's probably this guy right here. So if he can keep it together, this could be another Seth Carr level ride.
That is true. And honestly, you tell me that in Supercross, I'm saying he's going to lap the field. You tell me that any time before today where he just had a great ride in the first moto, I say, yeah, he could, but it's going to happen. No. Now you say it, and I think, holy shit, Seth Shirley might drop 1 minute on the field and just go ahead and murder these guys. He's already getting out. He's got about a 5-second lead so far after 1 lap, 2 minutes into this race. Seth Shirley on a sick one out front, and he has shown us a big U-turn in the way that his 450 motocross career is going. And I will say that after 1 moto in 1 lap, he looks like a completely different rider. It could just be this track, but I think he might have found something, and I think that this track lends itself to finding something on a 450. The amount of speed that you can carry, the way that you can ride it, how much it helps you on the uphills. Seth Shirley has found something here today, and he's going to try to dominate this second moto over the rest of the field.
Caleb Hall up in second early on. Devin Davis third. Blake O'Brien fourth. And T-Lang rounding out the top 5. Castellaneta, Eaglin, Will Now, Jared Gummison, and Jeremy Schiabro inside of the top 10. Burns and Johnson are up front as well. They're 11th and 12th as Shirley slides out with the lead, and he gets hit, barrel rolled over by Caleb Hall. We got to change for the lead. New leader, Devin Davis out front at Spring Creek. Get out the stats. He's been here for a super long time. It's been a minute since he's led a national. When has it been for D. Davis out front? But, oh my goodness, Devin Davis is leading here at Spring Creek.
I don't know where iMoto 251 Lane, no, not Lane. Lane?
Yeah,
Lane, our stat guy in chat. Where is he at? This could be the first lap that D. Davis has led in the 450 class since 2016. I don't know. And he scrubs it too hard. Keeps it on 2 wheels. He's trying to keep this thing going. Come on, Devin Davis. 4 more turns. You got to know he is absolutely freaking out, shaking in his boots right now. But he's got to be so happy. He's always been around 10th place, had some bad motos, fallen back to about 20th, 25th, not even scored points, and now he's out front leading his first race, and look at that field behind him, though. Sheesh. He is tossing it. Kellen giving some sheeshes out, but he is trying to hold on. 2 more corners to go. Can he bring this to the line? Who even was that? I don't even know.
Blake O'Brien down out of second.
Blake O'Brien down. Seth Shirley pushing in. Devin Davis leads us around.
And he whips it huge for us, too. Look at him go.
Celebrating.
Jumping up on the plateau. Here comes Seth Shirley putting the heat on already. He's bringing Castellaneta, Eaglin, and Lang with him, but D. Davis is out front. Here we go. Let's see what happens with the 37 and the 2. 2 completely different generation of racers. D. Davis debuted in 2012. I think Seth Shirley was like 2021. So 9 years apart from their pro debuts in this game. And here it is. Davis versus Shirley at the front of the field in Spring Creek. Who would have thought? Not me.
Not me. Definitely not me. But we got to give all the props to Devin Davis. Finally got a great start. Worked his way up, and it's not like he was in second or third at the start. Oh, he's going to get past right there. Makes a bobble coming out. Chooses the wrong line. Seth Shirley is going to go past him in the lead. But what I would like to see from Devin Davis is keep some smooth riding. Keep tossing whips, having fun. You're clearly feeling it out front. And I want to see him take this thing home. He can definitely finish inside the top 5. Why not a podium? Why not?
Why not?
It could happen.
By the way, updates from chat, and I just double-checked. Payson Johnson down a couple times, has drifted all the way back now to 27th on the track. So once again, another big opportunity for these guys to perhaps change the overall perspective, get some points back in their favor. T-Lang didn't even gain points on him in the first moto, but here's a golden opportunity to do it again. He's 5th right now. Can he mix it up with these guys once more? As here comes my daughter into the room. Does she have anything she would like to say on the microphone?
But do you think I can say that I can and say a?
Thought she was going to ask for some snacks or something.
I don't know. I don't know what I want to say. I know I was swimming in the ocean, causing a commotion because they are so awesome.
Yay! Good job, Holly. Great
Drop
singing.
the Narwhal song again. We love it. Thank you, Holly, for that rendition. And Hannah, we love you.
Yeah, Davis.
Thank you for everything.
Davis definitely debuted in 2012. I think maybe 2011 even? No, but 2012 for sure.
Typing that, I didn't send it. I said maybe even 2011. I debuted 250 East Coast in 2012. Devin Davis got me into the game because we were playing MX vs. ATV with Rev on. And transferred over there. He's like, buy this game. It's pretty sick. So I got it. And I don't know if he had been racing maybe 2011 outdoors. If not, 2012 West Coast 250 classes when Devin would have previewed. Look at that. Braden Castaneda trying to throw it up the inside. That was a pretty sick move and a sick save. He might lose the spot. He's going side by side with Eaglin, who's going to toss it.
Oh, not quite dualies. I mean, that would be dualies every other race this year, but we've had so many dualies this year that the the status quo of them has gone up. Is Castellaneta? What a save as he goes flying over the berm right there. That was absolutely wild for Castellaneta as he drops back to 4th. And now it is Eagland up the road. D. Davis going up the uphill. And yeah, Devin definitely was debuted sometime 2012 Supercross. I remember San Diego 2012 seeing him either in the LCQ or just making it out of a transfer spot into the main event. Can recall that in my brain for some stupid reason, but I know that it was somewhere around there. He just went off the corner at the bottom of the hill and lost at least one position to Colby Eagland. Might lose another as Castellaneta closes up and gets into the mix here. So now the fight for 3rd is continuing on. T-Lang is about 5 seconds back of this as Eagland sets sail for Shirley out front. These guys are tossing it, man. Davis is riding well.
Davis is riding really great. Braden Castellaneta just threw the gnarliest scrub I've seen in a while, and then Devin backed up with a huge whip. He's riding great. I mean, when you're sandwiched in between Colby Eagland and Braden Castellaneta, who just had great finishes, small mistake there. Castellaneta, doolies! Holy shit, Devin Davis, what a legend. He is having fun, throwing the biggest whips we've seen on the finish line so far, riding it out mid-moto while riding inside the top 5. He's having a great time. Braden Castellaneta, though, this is some good, rare air to be around. Braden and Eagland up front all race in the first moto, and Devin Davis holding his own against them. Great ride by him, but, man, Braden's trying to work his way up and trying to not let these guys get too far away from him because he says, I can go out here and win this damn thing.
He wants a piece of the race lead. Seth Shirley's got it. Colby Eagland P2, Castellaneta now up to 3rd. And new fastest lap of the race, 2:06.140. Seth Shirley out front, but a 2:06.7 out of Eagland right behind him. They are laying down some serious pipe and hoping to survive as they battle it out for the race lead. Meanwhile, Payson Johnson, 23rd place, still not making too many inroads. But, I mean, we've seen this story all too well, way too many times. He falls down the order and somehow still finds a way back to the front before the end of this thing. 5th in the first moto. Let's see how he does in Moto 2. Here is our race leader on the uphill on lap number 5. Seth Shirley with a 2nd in the first moto leads Moto 2 right now. And, man, we figured, okay, T-Lang, Payson Johnson, Trevor Burns, these would be the guys battling for the overalls today. It's been Castellaneta, Shirley, and Eagland pretty much all day long.
Yeah, I mean, these three have kind of taken a step, not out of nowhere. We've seen Eagland up front kind of battling, but we haven't seen Castellaneta consistently up near the top 3. Seth Shirley definitely hasn't been here. Something weird is in the air tonight, and it's not your Payson Johnson, Tyler Langs up front. Payson Johnson's still out in 22nd. Jaden Gomez, my hero, 21st. But, man, these guys have really just taken over. I don't know what's going on here in the 450 class with Millville, but it's shaking this series up huge. And, man, if Payson doesn't score points, it's slowly starting to sneak into something crazy could happen, and this championship could be turned on its head.
Because he even outscored T-Lang in the first moto, who's 2nd. Oh, what a save by Seth Shirley swapping through there. I agree.
Yeah, that's true, but
it could be flipped upside down. But I mean, Johnson still has, I think, a 56-point advantage in the championship in this moto. So even if he doesn't score points and Lang wins, he'd still be 31 points up ahead. So it's pretty grim for the rest of the field unless you're Payson Johnson. But man, this lead fight's getting interesting. Shirley's making a couple mistakes. Castellaneta went 2:05.9, 2:05.7 out of Eagland. Trevor Burns in 4th place, just laid down a 2:04.1. He is absolutely cooking right now. He's 15 seconds off the lead. He's 5 off of T-Lang up ahead of him, but he's by far the fastest rider on the track right now. He is flying.
Trevor Burns is low-key a sicko as he dies.
Moving on.
Moving on, Trevor Burns, you are a sicko, though. I'm very proud of what you've done and showed us the last 2 or 3 rounds. You are pretty badass, so shout out to you. Colby Eagland, though, he has been badass all year, and he's showing us a great ride, and he's trying to put some pressure up on these boys. See what he does going down this ginormous hill right here. Absolutely sending it. He's still in 2nd, right?
Yeah, Eagland's still 2nd, 3.5 seconds.
Eagland's pushing.
Want to get a little update on our lap time. So 2:06 flat, 2:05.7, 2:05.9. The front 3 separated by 0.3 last time by.
Qualifying times.
Fastest rider was Colby Eagland. out in P2, but Shirley looks like he's maybe inched it back out ever so slightly this lap. They're all, as you said, putting in qualifying times right now. It's when the track is arguably at its best, about 10 to 15 minutes into a race. 2:05.3, Seth Shirley responds. Then Eaglin goes 2:06.6. Castellaneta in third goes 2:07 flat. So Shirley saw those times come down and said, not happening today, good sir.
I'm sorry, not today. Yeah, honestly, it's not heartbreaking. Dude, they're still running 2:07s, but to catch up, everyone's throwing down steamers, and then you go and you're losing, inching away just a little bit. You're like, dude, what? I'm going almost as fast as I can. But all three of these guys are throwing down heaters, and it's pretty awesome to watch the pace and the level that this class is at. And this is a reason. I mean, Payson Johnson, can he run a 2:04? Cool, he can, but with how far back he is, there's not enough time in the moto. When these guys are able to step it up, run close to their qualifying times, if not faster, just being Payson Johnson and being a freak show doesn't really get you out of 20th place. It only can bring you up so far. Trevor Burns dropping a 2:04. It's like you can be running that. Woo! Braden Castaneda almost does the
Jack Gatlin.
The Jack Gatlin simulator and shows us how to run into a pole, just like your mother.
Oh,
okay. Got him.
Yeet. All right, here we go.
Castaneda's
got it down to 2.5 seconds now on Colby Eaglin for potentially getting into second place as we approach the halfway point of this moto. And if that's the case that he can get into second, he would match Seth Shirley on the day, 2:1.12. But I feel like Eaglin's got bigger aspirations, man. He's still eyeing up Shirley up ahead of him. It's back down to 3 seconds, just about even. And I think once again, we're going to see these lap times pretty well matched between the front three this time by, man. They just cannot break away from one another. They keep yo-yoing these times back and forth.
Yeah, the thing is, too, if you're in a battle like this with three really fast riders, even if you're yo-yoing 3, 4, 5 tenths each way, and it goes back and forth, it doesn't really... It's frustrating. It feels good that you're not losing time. It can be frustrating because you gain and you lose, right? You made a mistake, he hit a perfect lap, whatever happens, and we'll have to do a lap time check again because these guys are all ripping, but we're talking 2.5 seconds from third to first, and then we're talking, Braden is catching a little bit, 2:06.1 here, and we go up to Eaglin in second, see what he ran.
Eaglin 2:07.2.
2:07.2. No, you're fine. So losing or gaining a little bit of time. So this battle's now gotten a little bit tighter, but before he lost some time, and the the gap from second to first got a little tighter. So these guys are back and forth, but no one's really gaining enough to do anything. You're going to need a mistake, and there's a mistake right there. Colby Eaglin goes off the track in those rollers. Braden Castaneda is going to go up the inside, trying to make the pass.
Oh, down he goes. He just about made the pass and lays it down on the inside. There goes T-Lang up into third. Castaneda, who was the fastest rider on the track last time by, finally has the big one, and that's going to cost him a lot of time. He goes to 17 seconds off the lead in an instant. What a change of events that was. So that mistake from Eaglin pushes him 7.2 seconds behind Shirley. And then T-Lang now sits about 5 seconds behind him, another 5 seconds back to Castellaneta. They're separated only by 17 seconds, but there's not really much going on in those fights anymore. Burns is now back into fifth. Just did a 2:06 flat last time by. He was the fastest of the front 5 riders at least. 24 seconds off the lead. Devin Davis back into 6th now. 7th for Adam Holm. 8th, Bodie Parker. 9th for Blake O'Brien. And 10th is Jake Spieth. So these guys are all kind of hanging out pretty close together. This Bodie Parker, Adam Holm, D. Davis fight. Remember Parker 3rd in the first moto, sneakily getting up into a mix now to try to knock on the door for the top 5 again. He's 8th right now. And he's had a pretty damn good day here in Millville.
Yeah, I mean, being top 10 twice when you're maybe, borderline bubble guy, running 3rd, then running 8th is a great race by him. And honestly, super impressive. He wants to get back, though. You get that taste of what you can have in the first moto, and you want to work your way back up as close as you can. And honestly, it's pretty awesome, though. I love Bodie Parker, Body Parker. I'm going to call you whatever I want. But Body Parker, though, he's been great, man. And with that number 32, you can tell that he's been really good. He's been consistent enough in the last couple of years to have that low national number. As he gets another position, Burns tips it over. Yeah, you ran a 2:04.1, Burns, but you got to keep it on 2 wheels so you can keep moving forward. Body Parker, though, now into 7th, throwing a whip and trying to make even more moves as he's trying to get past Adam Holm here.
Adam Holm cuts a crossover. Parker's going to go far inside, and lines work out pretty evenly with Holm jumping all the way over that little tabletop section right there. We have got, for a minute there, we had a fight brewing for 3rd with Castellaneta on Lang. Oh, Holm down, takes Parker with him. There goes Burns, and there goes that Spieth, excuse me, that went by as well. And then Parker picks it up right behind Blake O'Brien. O'Brien up here in 8th now. We got Holm 9th, Parker 10th, Schiabro 11th, and now Johnson is up to 12th. And Johnson is starting to run some ridiculous lap times. 2:04.4 last time by as the track continues to get worse. And this is where Johnson starts to do Payson Johnson things. We're 12 minutes plus 2 laps left to go in the Moto. And I think it's time that we see him get into the top 10, probably up to the top 5 before this thing is done, because he's going to do these ridiculous laps.
Johnson is advancing. Shout out Jim McGrath Supercross 98. Yeah, if I'm looking at the gap right now, whoever is going 1, 2, 3, 4, he's going to get in the top 5. Basically, I'm looking at the lead. He's got a pack of like 3 dudes right in front of him here, then 1 Lone Ranger, and then another 3 riders. That's more than 3 dudes. There's like 5 guys in this turn ahead of him, and there's a rider down, so that's going to be 1 position gifted to him. That was Body Parker down again on the number 32 Yamaha. He's going to work his way up this hill, sending it. Look at that quad up! Sitting on the sidelines, listen to his pipe as he keeps working his way up, though, making small mistakes, but still going to probably run the fastest lap of the race. Got to be the 2:04.1 to do it. Just look at this speed. This is something you will never see, guys, anywhere else. Oh, my good. Does he send this? I want to see him. Yeah.
I don't think it's that time right now. I think he's just trying to focus on doing everything picture perfect, which, I mean right now it's ridiculous how fast he's riding. I think,
it's so
I don't know,
fun,
is this going to be sub 2:04?
No, I don't think with the mistake at the top of the hill. I think he might have lost, honestly, 0.3 to 0.5 up there from what his elite speed is, where he can actually jump in and rail that rut. But honestly, everything else, maybe 2:04, say 2:05.3,
not
big
bad.
deal. So we'll just stay here the rest of the race and just watch him throw down heaters.
I mean, there's not much going on up front right now, so we'll see what he can do getting through the field. That is Schiabro getting out of the way, I think. Yeah, Schiabro.
4, 1, 2, 3. 6 and 7.
6 and 7. Blake O'Brien. Well, there's something going on up here. Adam Holm and Blake O'Brien are still pretty close together. Here's Spieth, Davis, Burns, and Castellaneta on each other right now. And they're about 10 seconds behind Lang. So Burns back on his horse a little bit. 2:05.8 last time by. Castellaneta, your Moto 1 winner, 2:18 last time through, is now in danger of losing P4. The overalls, man, are going to be weird today. This is going to be very interesting to figure out because Castellaneta might be on the verge of going 1.5. Colby Eaglin right now is looking at a 4.2. You got Tyler Lang right now looking at a 6.3. Surely pretty easy, 2-1 out front. But then where the heck does Johnson end up getting to? No idea. We also have the Bodie Parker situation as Burns goes down again in P5. Devin Davis is going to go back around him into 5th place.
Let's go.
Jake Spieth now 6th. O'Brien 7th. Burns and Johnson now linked together. Johnson just got around Holm, and he's going to try to get O'Brien here. Not going to go for the quad, but he is just absolutely laying it over. So now he's linked up with his buddy, Trevor Burns, right here as they get to the top of the hill. Inside line for Johnson. Jumping down the hill. Burns is going to split lines to the inside. Johnson to the outside. Who comes out better?
Oh, my
Burns
God.
Is sending.
Burns.
We got a rider down at the bottom. Who was that? That was Spieth, maybe? Jake Spieth went down. Yeah, Johnson high-centered on the rut. Burns went back by into 6th. Johnson now 7th, and Spieth did go down at the bottom of the downhill. So Johnson is all the way back to 7th, and he's only about 15 seconds off of 4th right now, which is still Castellaneta. He has the ability to come through all the way and maybe even get on the podium in this moto, which is ridiculous. Right now, he's got some work still to do.
Burns just broke Payson Johnson, I would like to say. Famous father or not?
Wait a minute. We got royalty in chat. YouTube chat. Whisker Biscuit is in the house. Yes, what was 250 top 3 right now? Whisker Biscuit is here. It's royalty.
Whisker Biscuit.
Later, Whisker Biscuit.
Oh, my God.
He doesn't even know he's royalty.
He doesn't know Whisker Biscuit, so thank you. It's been a long, long time since we first saw you, and it might have been like 2019. Like
maybe even longer ago than that, I feel like.
You are a legend. I say your name. I would say every other day, Whisker Biscuit. So thank you. You are a double entendre.
I like how we're not even answering his question. We're just saying he's awesome.
We don't care about the 250s. We're only here to watch Devin Davis and Trevor Burns.
Oh, Riders down. That is Trevor Burns down, and here comes D. Davis getting passed up by Payson Johnson.
Not yet.
We'll explain the Whisker Biscuit story in just a second. But anyway, up over the jump. Look at D. Davis still just getting absolutely upside down, battling with these guys. As to the outside, Johnson's going to try to make this pass down the inside. Johnson takes over P5. Now another 5-5 situation here as Johnson goes down the inside on the uphill and moves into 5th place. Crazy ride through the field. All right, now that we're back out front and we see Seth Shirley up here 6.9 seconds in the lead. So the Whisker Biscuit situation, I was playing Trackmania on a stream.
No way.
Yeah, it was Trackmania.
So
yeah.
this was probably, wow.
Yeah.
That's
I was
old.
playing Trackmania on a stream. Whisker Biscuit was there, and I was hanging out with you guys or something like that. And the last thing I said before I muted up and ended a stream, I was just like, he was leaving. Oh, our leader's down. Seth Shirley is down out front. We're going to have to change topics for just a second because here comes Colby Eaglin to take over the lead. Oh, no, Seth Shirley. Don't let it fall apart like this, Sunshine. Got to pick it up and get going to get after Eaglin. So Eaglin now looking at a 4-1. But the Whisker Biscuit situation, all I said was, later, Whisker Biscuit, to end the stream. And Braden Carter, who was in our Discord at the time, had the gnarliest, longest laugh at me saying later Whisker Biscuit. He almost ran out of breath. I think he was laughing for a half hour, and I just came back in. You guys were all laughing at him, laughing so hard. And so we saved that as later Whisker Biscuit. We saved that file, and we say it, and we use it as a sound drop sometimes, and we say that.
Is that not in the Discord soundboard too?
I think it's in the Discord soundboard, but I don't know.
Oh my God, it's just
wow,
an all-time moment, and I feel like it has like a double entendre, which is even better. So
yeah,
it's I don't know, man. You are a legend. Yeah, Brandon was just laughing because he was thinking of that same thing and just laughing, and then it was just the most contagious laughter ever. And it's pretty much my sign off almost every night when someone says they're going to bed.
Yeah.
Later, Whisker Biscuits.
I'm not sure if we have the sound drop, but the Braden Carter laugh is, oh, dude. If anyone could ever hear Braden Carter's laugh, they would die laughing at him.
On par with my crazy one of Nate sleeping on the desk chair, like complete uncontrollable, like giggles, but just like that for 15 minutes.
It is hilarious. Oh my God, our guts hurt after that one for sure. I don't know if I still have the clip. It's on Twitch somewhere. I'll try to pull it up maybe at the end of the stream and see if I still have it. But anyway, so change for the lead happened, of course, because Shirley went down. Now he's 3.8 seconds back. Eaglin looking at a 4-1. Shirley a 2-2. A 4-1 puts him on, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 37 points, whereas Shirley is on, 43 points. Sorry, I did my math wrong. It would put him on 43 points, whereas Shirley right now with a 2-2 is on 44. So I think Shirley is still in a position to win the overall as it stands. But as things continue to go on, we will see what happens.
Surely he's not going to just dominate the rest of this race, right?
I don't know, man. Payson Johnson's running some sicko lap times right now. 207 flat in P5, 206.4 out of T-Lang. Everybody else is 209, 210, 211 or higher. So we still have some time left to figure this thing out, as Lang is the fastest rider on the track right now, pretty much in third. And he went 4 seconds a lap faster than the race leader, and he's 11 seconds back. Who knows what's about to happen at the end of this moto?
Honestly, yeah, it's such a mix-up right now. I feel like I can't predict because these guys, yeah, Tyler Lang's been now finally consistent this second moto with some speed, and it comes and goes. It seems like Seth Shirley had been really, really fast all day, and Eaglin, it's almost like they're also kind of evenly matched. It's just who makes the mistake and when does it happen. These guys can pretty much race a 30-minute moto without one crash or with only one crash. Just when does it happen and what have you been doing besides that? And then you got the always scary Payson Johnson back in fifth. He's way back, though. He ain't getting anywhere.
Yeah,
maybe he'll get fourth if something happens to Braden. But Tyler Lang, I think right now is too far back in third. I think this is really, we're going to have to keep an eye on Seth and how close he can get. Tyler Lang right now 7 seconds out of it is just a little too much to make something happen, even if you are barking 206s and being the fastest person on the track.
We need to see next time by though, because I'm not so convinced that this is out of the question just yet. All right, Nate said he just uploaded it to Discord, so we can go listen to me just saying later Whisker Biscuit, which in all fairness isn't that funny, but Carter was laughing so hard that it kind of made it a must-hear moment, I feel like. Anyway, back to the battle for the lead. Eaglin just made a mistake. Shirley goes 207.8, Eaglin 209.8. 205.9 T-Lang, 6 seconds behind what is now essentially the battle for the lead with 3 laps to go. Next time by, I believe they will have the 2-lap board come out. It's going to be very close, but I think that's the case. And now we have a fight for the lead. Shirley can see Eagland. He's trying to get back to him and go 2-1 on the day. Eagland's looking like he's making a few too many mistakes, though. It's starting to get a little uncomfortable for the 24 out front.
Yeah, I mean, when you got the pressure, you see that number start shrinking. It gets, it's something to worry about. It was just 3 seconds. Now it's down to cut in half of what you've gained all moto long. Look at these guys jumping over a lapper. We're 28.5 minutes into this race. 1:20 plus 2 laps to go. Can he hold on? He's got the pressure now. Seth Shirley is trying to have something to say about this and trying to take this moto win. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get there without another mistake, but Colby Eagland is under pressure, so he's got to watch out. It's hard when you got someone coming up behind you to keep moving forward. Yo.
Heyo.
Heyo.
All right, here we go. Up Mount Martin once again. Eagland from Shirley going up to the very tippy top of the hill. Honestly, it's going to be very close with timing. We're 45 seconds out with like 5 corners to go. I think they might beat it back this time, which in the first moto, they did 16 laps. So this might make it a 17-lap race. If they can get back to the flag fast enough here, it's going to be awfully close. 30 seconds left on the clock. What do you think? Are they going to beat it? I think they are.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
20 seconds from here.
20 seconds left on the clock. Let's find out.
Way
Eagland
too close.
Down this back straightaway. 15 seconds left at the top of the hill. As he crests over, that straightaway takes so long to get through because all the time spent in the air. All right, here we go. Let's see when the timer switches over and when they cross the finish line. 4, 3, 2, and it's switched over. We have got 3 laps still to go. We're doing 17 laps. That gives another lap for Lang to catch up even that much more. This time, 2:08.7, 2:09.9, 2:08.9. Only slightly faster, but he's still within that 7-second range, trying to close it down to the race leaders. Oh man, this is getting nervous time for Eagland out front. He's trying to respond and done pretty good job so far, but Shirley's hanging tough.
This is my face right now. Because I just called, they got so much time. They're easily going to get it. And they crossed with 1.5 seconds left before the 30-minute mark. So, I mean, we're still right, just barely, which is my normal amount of being right whenever I am. Colby Eagland right now, he's got to be nervous, dude. He was already, I'm sure, nervous, but just missing that timer, you've got it. He's going into that thinking, give me two laps, and then going over the finish and just being like, F you, dude. All I needed was less time to be able to hold, or to have to try to hold on to this thing, and he's got pressure. Seth Shirley's not someone you want right behind you, especially the way that he's been riding today here at Millville. He's coming, man. He's got something he's got to watch out for him.
Certainly is, no question about it. Shirley sees that gap inching down ever so slightly, and Lang is licking his chops at the prospect to have a couple more laps at this thing to maybe make it interesting. It's stabilized the gaps, at least for right now, and we probably only have maybe a few more lappers that they're going to hit, so that's not going to affect too much. As you see Eagland trying to bounce down the hill, Shirley looks like he's going to check up and go to the inside as well, because there's a lapper down in that middle rut where he may have been heading, but gets on the brakes and gets to the inside. Everyone jumping to that little wall on the outside.
Yeah, I love it.
It's really kind of clean to kind of flow that line together. We're back down to the 2-second mark. First and second separated by less than 2 seconds, or back out at 2.1, I should say. And Lang suddenly is in the picture frame, closing that gap down. These lap times this time by are going to be so interesting to see how these are coming together. So Eagland again keeps making that little mistake right there at the line. He goes 2:09.851, 2:08.9 out of Shirley, and back in third, a 2:07.7. That time it was 2 seconds gained for T-Lang over our race leader, Colby Eagland, and he has got 5.8 seconds to make up with 2 laps left to go. We have got a race on our hands to close this thing out here tonight. Lang and Shirley and Eagland set to battle it out here at Spring Creek.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. It was 3 seconds back to Shirley, then another 7 back to Tyler Lang. Now it's 2 seconds and just another 4 back to Lang. So this race is getting tighter with 2 laps to go here. Seth Shirley trying to keep putting the pressure on, and Lang is trying to put himself in the best position possible. It's going to be hard, but he is the fastest person on the track out of these 3, and there's a small mistake from Shirley. That's going to make him lose just a little bit of time and give a little bit more breathing room to Colby Eagland, and he's going to see that on his pit board. You gain just a little bit more time and a little bit more room to relax. But this thing is going to be a dogfight till the end. Even if they don't end up close, this is such a mental, physical battle for these guys of emotions and trying to keep everything under wraps, because a race being this close and everyone being so evenly matched in speed this late in the race is something that doesn't always happen, and these guys have been in a dogfight since the minute the gate dropped.
Well, it's building to a crescendo because they still haven't gotten close enough yet, and we're going to have a lap to go next time by. There is Lang at the top of Mount Martin. He can now see them as he jumps down right in tow behind them, and there's lap traffic afoot. So let's see what happens as Eagland's going to hit them first. 3.6 seconds separate your top 3 as we come up to the white flag this time by. Eagland funnels into the main rut, moving out of the way. Looks like that may have been Pachon on the Yamaha. Nicely done to get aside and let these guys go through, continue their fight at the front of the field. He's going to try to jump to the right side of the top of the hill and let them have the inside line. Eagland to the inside. Ooh, almost pushed that rut out right there, and Shirley is pushing up behind him. Here we go. 1 more lap to go around Spring Creek. Shirley is there. Eagland leads as the white flag waves. It's 3 seconds between the top 3 positions. Lang is continuing to inch that gap ever so closely. He can see them. Is he going to get there? I don't think it's going to be enough, but we'll have to see if Eagland holds it tight for this final lap. Bouncing through that section. Shirley on his horse down the inside is going to square this corner off and get it close. It might come down to the rollers right here, Andrew.
Yeah, I do think it's going to be close, Kellen, closer than we think. It was 6 seconds at the line last time around, then 3 seconds all the way back to third. There have been some small mistakes by Seth Shirley, but look at this. He got a great drive through the sand rollers. Is he going to be able to make the pass around the outside of Eagland? Eagland to the inside, Shirley to the middle. He takes it.
Oh, Lang's down, pushes the nose, and goes down. Shirley takes over the race lead, and he makes the same mistake that he did last time by. That's going to allow Eagland to inch back closer. Eagland wants this moto win so bad, but Shirley wants his first career 450 overall. He's trying to push lap traffic out of the way as they fight for the race lead. Oh my goodness, up to the top of the hill. Shirley leads and lands on the lapper. How does he not go down? Amazing, amazing moment. Here's Eagland again, though. Does Eagland have a spot picked to make this pass? He's going to push to the outside. Shirley goes inside, banks off the rut awkwardly. We're going to go side by side on Mount Martin on the final lap. He cases the triple. Eagland scrubs it down, gets on the rear fender, and takes the lead again. Up to the top of the hill. Shirley tries to close the line off. They get together. Shirley pushes out. Eagland back to the front.
Yeah, Eagland, man, he is fighting Shirley down so hard. He made a mistake jumping that little double down the hill. Something must have happened.
And Lang is
Tyler Lang is back by. So Tyler Lang now up into second. He had fought so hard, made a mistake behind these guys. Seth Shirley had fought for 35 minutes into this race to make that pass in the lead. Then at 36 minutes in, goes ahead, throws it away on the uphill, and then falls by himself on the downhill. Colby Eagland going to be riding this thing home, Kellen, after a hard-fought three-way battle all the way to the checkered flag between these guys. What an incredible race.
That threw away the moto win and the overall win for Seth Shirley. Colby Eagland's going to go 4-1 to win here at Spring Creek. Moto 2 to Colby Eagland, and it should be good enough for the overall. It is. Tyler Lang sits on a 6-2 score, and Seth Shirley will get on the podium, but a 2-3 falls 1 point short of the overall win for the first of his career. Eagland takes Spring Creek. Castellaneta 1-4 will tie Eagland on the day. He'll get second overall. Shirley will get third. And then this man is going to go 5-5. Valiant charge through the field in both motos. Doesn't get on the box, but salvage some valuable points in the championship.
Yeah, I mean, he was out of points for a long time in both motos, and now loses 18 or something like that. So it's a pretty big difference getting 5-5 after where he started this race, and he's probably going to just ride a hot lap here. Body Parker Great start, great finish. Goes 5-6 on the day, I think.
3-6.
3-6. What a freaking legend. That might be close to a podium overall. Squidbro in 7th place here. All these guys absolutely throwing down. Adam Holm as well, over jumping it. So almost no one surviving. Jake's Beast went through hell for this moto, was up and down all over the ground. Comes across 9th. Devin Davis, after leading a lap early, falls back to 10th place, but that's still a pretty damn good moto for him. Blake O'Brien fighting to the death right here with Caleb Hall as he takes over the 11th place position over 12th. Schaefer in 13th. Jeremy Smith looking sexy in that, sexy SYS Suzuki gear canvas as well. Chase B coming across on the BPC ride in 15th on the number 21 machine. Trevor Burns falls back hard after a great start early.
That was almost sick.
Almost does the double underflip there. Ethan Parks on the Heckman Production SYS machine comes across in 17th, scoring points. Kyle Boardman, he's got some fans in chat, comes across 18th, right in front of Brandon Cocroft. And Joseph Pilsner rounds out your top 20 here on the Nexus FXR machine. Shout out to everyone that scored points, and what a freaking race we just saw. Kellen Brower.
That was wild, all the way down to the checkered flag, and Egan looks like he is going to get the overall win today. Crucially, all these guys score more points than Payson Johnson on the day, so they'll pull a little bit back in the championship. Not going to matter too much, but what a wild finish. Eaglin confirmed your overall winner. Lang gets second in the moto, Shirley third. It's going to be Eagland, Castellaneta, Shirley, the overall. That's crazy that Shirley lost just one position and goes from winning to finishing third on the day. And that's how it goes in MX Simulator Pro Racing. Crazy what we have happen here week after week. Many congratulations, though, to Colby Eagland, your winner here tonight at Spring Creek.
Am I wrong in saying that if Shirley didn't go down by himself, he would have still won the overall?
2-2 beats 4-1.
2-2 would have beat the 4-1. So Heath got past. It was a crazy battle going up the hill. Doesn't matter. All he had to do was regroup, survive another third of a lap, and he would have still had his first 450 overall. Heartbreak for Seth Shirley here tonight. But honestly, it was a breakout ride, Kellen, and I think that we've got a lot more from Seth Shirley.
Camera's broken over here, apparently. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but it's blurry as can be, so I'm pretty confused.
Want me to wipe it with
Let's
something?
See if I just back my hand away if it tracks it.
Back that ass up.
There we go.
Hey!
Now it looks better.
Look at you. You're so
I
cute.
figured it out. Wow, what a night of racing here at Spring Creek. Always good to see a fight to the death, basically, between these guys all the way to the checkered flag. Colby Eagland gets the win. Seth Carr wins in the 250 class. Yeah, that's what we like to see, man. A very good battle all the way to the checkered flag.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I've said this every time. I think there's been maybe one or two motos this year where I've finished the stream and been like, yeah, that wasn't that good. It's pretty much always awesome racing all year so far. And I mean, this 450 class, if these guys are stepping up, it's Lang is back. Shirley's coming in and breaking through. Eagland's riding great. And Payson, honestly, getting bad starts makes the racing better because it's fun to watch how far can he get back up there. We are spoiled here week in and week out. The level of this Race Factory Gaming Championship is somewhere, honestly, super high. It just keeps getting raised every single year. And I love being here every single week with you guys.
Well, I love being here as well, but I will not be here next week. We are going to have a solo A-Wood broadcast next week live here on Start Your Systems TV for the Washougal National. I have to go up to Washougal early, get a little bit of work done, so I cannot be here Wednesday night, but you have so nicely stepped up to the plate and said, I'm going to come down and stream this race myself anyway, so appreciate it.
I am a little worried because it's outdoors. So that's 3.5 hours of me talking by myself,
Welcome
which
to the
I know
club.
is hard. And there's been so many times that I've missed throughout the years, Kellen, where I know, and I've done it before in Supercross. I know how hard it is. I will unmute my mic when the stream starts this time. But I know how hard it is, and you work so hard to bring us these streams, and we do as a team. And it's the least I could do is come and do a broadcast by myself, and hopefully everyone else will be out here watching the race and enjoying it too. Try not to miss a week whenever we can. So I'll be here talking. If you hate my voice, maybe just watch the highlights next week. But we love every one of you who will join us next week. So
Yeah, well, everyone will be here. They'll still love A-Wood stuff, and I'll be in the chat room just setting up all kinds of fun predictions and a lot of fun stuff to do with that. So
maybe I bring B-Lars or something to
yeah,
give me a break
bring
or
B-Lars
something.
in, yeah. Yes, but a big shout out, of course, to the Design Lab Co. for backing the broadcast, Race Factory Gaming and the Race Factory Gaming track crew for always putting on a terrific event for us every week. And of course, all of you guys, we had a couple of new people subscribe there on Twitch tonight, more subs on the YouTube channel. Please be sure to follow Start Your Systems on YouTube, Start Your Systems TV, Kellen SYS on YouTube, Start Your Systems on Instagram, Start Your Systems on TikTok. We're everywhere, man. We're posting videos all the time, and your following is certainly a huge help and appreciation for all of us here that put in the work every week to bring you guys a fun broadcast. But that's going to do it for us here at Spring Creek, round 7 of the Race Factory Gaming National Championship live here on Start Your Systems TV. For Kellen Brower, Andrew Wood, and everybody here at SYS TV, we hope to see you guys next week here for Washougal. But until now, we'll see you guys then. So long for now. Later, Whisker Biscuit.